And 96.5 FM.
This sports broadcast is brought to you by L-Gas. For all your LPG needs, talk to the locals with knowledge. L-Gas, call 13 11 61, a sponsor of City Park Radio.
Welcome to Windsor Park here in northern Tasmania. It's the big local derby here this afternoon between the home team Launceston and North Launceston. Both teams looking finals bound in season 2023. North Launceston aiming for top spot. They can go closer to that goal today if they can win over their local rivals. And of course Launceston can pretty much sew up a finals position today if they can win here on their home ground. Good afternoon, my name's Dave Moore, City Park Radio 103.7 and 96.5 and via the TSL live stream. My co-commentators today, first of all to my left, Rob Soward. G'day Rob.
G'day Dave, and great to be here, and it's not often, Dave, is it, we're calling a game where there are two All-Australians about to run around in front of us, so how good's that?
Absolutely, we'll get to that in a moment, but yeah, we've got some fine young talent out here on the Oval this afternoon. Expert commentator 2 spots along from me is Max Walker. G'day Max.
Good morning, no, it's good afternoon
yes,
now, isn't it? Yes, been here too long already. Thank you, Dave. Welcome to our listeners and the guys watching on the stream. Lovely day for footy, bit overcast at the moment, but not cold here in the open arena as yet. But looking forward to a really good game of footy. 2 exciting teams, one playing for their finals spot, some would say, or at least to be give themselves some additional confidence as well. And another team that's won 10 on the trot and hasn't looked like dropping one for a while.
Excellent, and both teams are out on the ground doing their warm-ups, and in the middle of the arena are our boundary riders today, Chris Sayer and Tony Webb. What are conditions down on the ground level like there, boys?
Pretty good actually. I'll get Chris to talk about the weather in a moment, but the ground's a fair bit of mud, sort of centre half forward both ends of the ground and just on the edges of the square, but it is a bit fairly solid at the moment. See what happens if the rain turns up later, and Chris can tell you about that. But in terms of the game, I suspect Launceston are going to win this one.
Yeah, it is quite heavy underfoot without being muddy. There's no wind at all, really, favouring either end. We are forecast a little bit of rain during the afternoon, about 1 mil, so not enough to really affect the game. And the toss has just been won by North Launceston, kicking to the southern end. Probably if there was any wind, that's the end it would be favouring, but it's not really any wind. The windsock's quite limp over there in the corner. It's going to be interesting to see these young players play against each other today.
Absolutely, it's a lot of young Devils talent, and we might mention that now. Thanks, boys, for your efforts in advance down there today and giving us an insight from the boundary line. Yeah, a lot of Devils players back today. We've got a couple of under-18 All-Australians out there as well, by the names of James Leake and also Colby McKercher, plus other great young players that have been applying their trade in the Devils this year. So really looking forward to seeing the young talent, Rob.
Yeah, fantastic. It's obviously great to see that homegrown talent, and as you said, Dave, they've certainly excelled at that national level. Launceston particularly bolstered by the inclusions they have, and I see them as a little bit of a dark horse, Dave, in terms of they're starting to roll together and get some cohesion, particularly with all those outs at the start of the year.
Max, the midfield battles will be really intriguing today, won't they? When we looked at some of the stats for the year, and the likes of Ben Simpson, of course, Jack Avent, Nathan Pearce for North Launceston have been pretty good out of the middle, Alex Lee himself, but up against a really good midfield with Palfreyman and, of course, the injection of Colby McKercher. Yeah,
it will be, Dave. I reckon McKercher, as we spoke about off air a minute ago, I'd like to see him play out wide so they can deliver the ball to him. We know he's going to have great aerobic capacity. His delivery is really good, and you've got the grunt in there of Pearce and Jackie Avent for the Bombers. Alex Lee just been fantastic all year in the ruck, and I'm just excited to watch individuals today, to be honest. I've just marked some names on the sheet here. Brandon Leary, he's my favourite in the league at the moment. Theo Eyes, Ollington, young Max Roney's coming up through the Devils. Then you go over to Launceston, you've got McKercher, you've got Beaumont, the Devils captain. You've got Schoenmaker, who still in the mix potentially to get a gig on a list in AFL level next year. And you've got James Leake, who loved his cricket until a couple of years ago, and now he's turned himself into a AFL footy star.
Absolutely. So it's both teams now taking up their positions. Today's broadcast brought to you by Elgas. For your LPG needs statewide, talk to the locals with knowledge. Phone 13 11 61. Introduction now for our stats man, Mr. Dave Gruber, who's to my right. He's going to bring us all the team stats as the day progresses. So big game. We're in the last round of games here in the TSL. Everyone plays each other once now and the run home. So a couple other big games today. We've got Clarence playing Lauderdale at Bell Reeve, and also North Hobart and the Tigers at North Hobart Oval. Keep you up to date with that, as well as the AFL and other things. First quarter action, Rob Soward.
Seth Pfeiffer's got the biggest battle today against Lee. Lee wins that one, of course, and they're going to give the Bombers an early inside look at it inside their 50. I'll tell you what, that's going to be a massive battle all day. He's been the dominant ruckman in the league all year, Alex Lee, and as we talked about earlier, his ground level stuff just as good. So
yeah, Pierce and clearance already, Rob.
Yeah, again, another important player to them. It's inside their 50 and balled up. Players there trying to get it out. Blues trying to clear. Great pressure. Great pressure there from Nathan Pearce. He's so important to them. One of the leaders in the league in the clearance area. And his work around the goals is terrific too. So another ball up. This time it's a Blues hand on. They'll be desperate to clear it away here. Bombers looking to create something. Gathered there by Ben Simpson. Drives it in forward. Health hands. Could be the first goal of the game, and it is. Great goal, Harvey Griffiths. Read that beautifully off the pack, and the Bombers are away, Maxie Walker.
Yeah, just didn't panic then, Harvey Griffiths, against his old club. Played a lot of footy here and ventured over the river about 3 years ago now and cemented himself a spot in the North Seniors, which is something he couldn't do here at Launceston, so a credit to him there. He's persevered, but yeah, just a good contest. Stayed on the ground. It was 2v1. Two Lonnie guys went up against the one North bloke, and Griffiths stayed on the ground and reaped the rewards. Good start.
He's a hard pressure forward too, isn't he, Griffiths? He can lay tackles but score himself from the other way.
Yeah, he does, and you know, that was just nonchalant then. There was just no pressure on him at all. He just grabbed it and sauntered through the goal square and kicked it.
Back in the middle of Windsor Park, Lee wins the tap. Gets the advantage of Simpson. Another clearance here for North Launceston. Simpson and inside 50 to Cox Goodjar, who takes the mark right on the 50. And slight angle to the left. But, gee, they're getting on top of the clearances. One to Pearce, one to Simpson, who are two of the biggest clearance players in the game in the TSL in season 2023.
You'll kick this with a nice new ball, Dave. Straight through the middle.
Max has called it. Brad Cox Goodjar for North Launceston second in a minute. Sails straight through the middle from Brad Cox Goodjar. They're on fire early here at Windsor Park are the Northern Bombers. They're 2 straight 12, leading Launceston yet to score.
Easy goal then, wasn't it? Again, started from a clearance out of the middle. So Launceston, you know, they've got Powerfulman in there. They've got Jamison House, a couple of state players from 2 or 3 weeks ago. So they'll be asking a lot from them. And McKirch is in the middle there as well with them. So they've just got to go one-on-one, I think, for a little while, just to slow it down a little bit and get on top.
Great understanding from Lee and Simpson, wasn't it, Max? Yeah, Simpson knew exactly where that tap was going.
Yep. 2 minutes in, they've got Groningen back into the ruck, which is important, just that bigger body against Lee. And they do battle again now, Groningen and Lee. Lee, again, first hand on. Blues a bit tidier around it this time. Groningen could have got a kick. Bombers are going to come away with it, but that's okay. No, McKircher. Pressure from the Bombers is terrific around the footy. Just ball halted just outside their 50. But just moving it on. But those first 2 clearances, just nice and easy for the Bombers and ominous signs for the Blues unless they do something about it. Ruckman do battle. Bombers player held without it. Umpires found a free kick there right on the arc of 50. The ball's going to come back. It's going to be Alex Lee. No. Alex Lee put his hand up wanting it, but Max Roney. Blade Sulzberger. I'll get it right in a minute. Alex Lee was asking the question, but no, it's going to be Sulzberger right on the paint at 50. He's going to give himself a bit of a look at it.
Well, we saw the ball carry for that last shot from Cox Goodjar, Rob, so you might give him a show from here.
Absolutely, and as Max said, nice dry ball to start with, so he'll give it every opportunity, Sulzberger.
It'll drop a little bit short.
Moves in, strikes it well. Strikes it really well, but as Max called it, hands on the goal line, taken through for a behind. So Maxie, the clairvoyant Walker, is right on his on his mark at the moment. Readings at half-time if you're here at Windsor Park. Max Walker is the man. Blues bring it back into play. Take it to the far side of the ground. It might have a bit too much on it, I reckon. It kicked it a bit too well there,
Yeah,
Dave.
Schoenmaker, I reckon he'll get the kick-out duties today. He can kick it a good 60 metres each time as the kick comes back inside 50. And there he is again, Schoenmaker. He just takes the mark. Good strong mark out in front. So we get his second possession in 30 seconds. He switches it to Josh Gillow, leading spoiler in the league. Handball now to McKercher. He goes short here and finds Presnell. Presnell has a wide option in Jaden Hines. He goes there now. Man on here is Ryan Tyrrell. Takes the mark on his chest centre wing. Settling things down. Back in the centre of Windsor Park. Spot up here, Schoenmaker. Takes a second mark for the game. 45 kicks a pretty good one to Sam Foley. He takes it and goes. Low kick towards half forward to Bailey Gillow. Slides in on his knees and takes the mark. Up against Roney. Plays on now Bailey Gillow. First inside 50 for the Blues. Almost a mark there to Hyatt. Fletcher Bennett did well. Hines back to Hyatt. Smothered kick. Bailey Mitchell takes it over the line for a boundary throw-in.
Good ball movement by Launceston, then just slowed it down, but they didn't take too much time. Still allowed themselves the opportunity to get it forward before the North defenders all flooded back. 5
inside 50 to 1. The Northern Bombers way. Shifted out of the ruck there was Madden by Lee. Still a contested ball. Lee picks it up. Gets the handball away. Ollington round the corner. Kicks a good one. Gets a good 40 metres up the wing. Bouncing ball taken by Young. Handball on to, not bad to Leary. Takes it skillfully with one hand. Steadies. Kicks towards the centre of Windsor Park. Turnover though. The Blues should come away with it here. They can't quite pick it up. Pushing the back. Free kick. Advantage paid. Comes now to Presnell. Inside the centre square. Can't take the mark. Players slip over. Leaflang now to wrestle with Presnell. And we'll get a ball up here. Front edge of the centre square. Blues in attack. North Launceston lead by 13.
Really been impressed with the Bombers' physicality around the ball, and that's where they want to get those big bodies to work on these young Launceston players. Launceston have stemmed the bleeding now at the moment, so Ruckman do battle. Could have been a free kick there, but no. McKercher gets it out for the Blues, bobbling around. Can he? Ball goes forward, just outside their 50. Bombers player being very strategic, might have got one in the back. Umpire said no, and they're going to throw that in just in front of the canteen area, just outside 50.
Quickly, Rob, in the D League, it was North Launceston 14-10-94, defeated Launceston 5-5-35. In the under-18s, the Bombers 86 defeated Launceston 31.
Launceston will look to create something here. One of their few looks at it so far. It's going to be another repeat for us there. Lots of bodies around the footy. Ball in Brodie Porfirman's hands as he sees that one over the line. Launceston would be excited by these Devils ins today, particularly in the good vein of form that they've been in. So they'll be very, very keen to make the most of that. Umpire's picked out a free kick. And he's found a holding free kick there, and that's going to be going the way of McKercher. So see what Colby McKercher can do. Go square, that's not his best work. Bombers are going to come away with it here and open it right up. They're away on the far side of the ground. Quick hand movement back towards Leary. Ever dangerous. Puts it on the boot. Is it going to get the bounce? It looks like it's going to bounce the right way. Brandon Leary, Max Walker's favourite player in the competition. What a fantastic goal, Maxie.
Yeah, you called it all, Rob. It was just absolutely beautiful. It didn't look like missing, even to the extent it was the way that he kicked it. He knew that it was going to bounce the way that it did, and I noticed he was having a good duel down deep there with fellow Tamer. What do you call him? A Tamer Oniston or something? What is it when you live down the river and grow up together?
Tamer Valley resident.
Tamer Valley resident. Okay. Yep. Well, young Jaden Hines and him were having a bit of a go at each other early, so they would have grown up playing a lot of footy against each other and with each other down that way, I reckon. But
we've got, sorry, Max. Chris Sayer on the boundary, but we might get you at the next stoppage, Chris, because we're back underway. Rob Soward. What do you think the game so far?
Oh, look, Launceston have really got to do something here because it's going to get out of their reach. Really is going to get out of their reach really quickly. Bombers, the pressure is terrific.
Lee with the tap out now towards Simpson. Hands off to Ollington. Ollington to the wing over the head of Ahern. Here's Griffiths, another involvement. Little shrug off there. Gets the handball away to Ollington again. Third possession, Ollington. Low kick, but it's intercepted. Handball over the top, Foley. Held without it was Riley. And he'll take a free kick at half back. The advantage is paid. Ends up near at half forward now with Gillow. Gillow plays on, gets around the man on the mark in Mansell. Short kick finds Palfreyman. Palfreyman now near the London club rooms, kicks to full forward. Presnell from behind with the set, but the mark's taken by Hines. I think there's a free kick in the battle though for the mark, and it's going against Presnell. It's North Launceston taking the kick there through Hubbard. Short kick looking for Nicholas. Nearly makes it good. Off the spillage, Tyrrell. Short kick over the head of Hines. Taken by Hyatt. Presnell open goal. Kicks it for Launceston. That's their first. Lockie Presnell from the pocket. Smart kick. Kept it low and put it through. That's the first goal for Launceston. 1 goal straight 6. Trailing North Launceston 3-1-19. Down to Chris Sayer on the boundary.
I don't know if you noticed, guys, when Brandon Leary kicked that previous goal, he only had one boot. He lost his left boot. And his opponent very kindly picked his boot up and threw it over the fence.
As they do. Thanks, Chris. Good observation over here. That's excellent work. Max, a good goal there for Launceston. They badly needed one.
Yeah, it was, and I'm very grateful that the Prince Presnell kicked it, because they gave one away in the goal square 30 seconds before with Hines taking the mark. So a good recovery there by Presnell and the Blues. A good one for their confidence. They've got to keep on a bit of a roll here.
To see what they can do around the contest here. Lee again, first hand on, dominant ruckman so far today, giving his side the advantage. The Bombers are going to have another look at it inside 50. That's a nice deep entry. Ball bobbling around. Cox Goodger onto that trusty left foot. He's going to have another look at it, and another goal. Brad Cox Goodger. How's that with some interest? 45 seconds after Launceston get on the board, Bradley Cox Goodger does what Bradley Cox Goodger can do, Max.
Yeah, just made it look so easy, didn't he? And not quite sure what would be going through Mitch Thorpe's mind at the moment. He'd be asking his fellow coaching staff, how do we stop the flow out of the middle? Alex Lee, he's just ramming it down. If it's not Simpson's throat, it's going to Sulzberger or Pearce or Avent, whoever's there. And they just need to negate it somehow at the moment. They just don't seem to be able to read it at all, Launceston players.
Max Walker channeling an ex-Northwest Coast ruckman that he might have had a battle against back in the day. Max Lee.
He's a bit before my time.
Was he? Okay. Here's Simpson from the clearance. Gets it to Sulzberger. Another clearance for North Launceston. Quick kick inside 50. Griffiths is there. It's over the back. Mark nearly taken there by Leake. He's now driven to the ground by Griffiths, and that's how the umpire reads it. Free kick to Leake. So James Leake, the Allies, All-Australian player in the under-18, gets it to Gillow, play on, not 15. Has to go sideways with plenty of time, though, and gets it to Sam Foley. Foley up the wing here, looking for Jones, and that's a fine mark. In fact, it's Beaumont who's taken it. Tom Beaumont, another Devils player back today. He looks for Jones, but falls short. Taken by Leafland. The ball held up there a little bit in the breeze, so maybe there's an advantage to that town end. Lots to be hoping so, because they're down at the moment by 19 points. Mark taken by Avent, defensive side of the wing. Kicks to the boundary line. He spots up a teammate. There in Mitchell. Mitchell plays on. Kicks the half forward, off hands. Over the top, Sulzberger looking for the dangerous Leary. Gets pace, gets to the ball. Left foot shot for goal. Leary offline this time. And to one behind. 4-2-26 North Launceston. The Blues won straight 6. Been playing about 13 minutes in this first quarter. Listen to City Park Radio. 103.7 and 96.5. The ball's in the hands of Ari Schoenmaker. Here's Rob Soward.
Nice kick from Schoenmaker into McKercher. See what he can set up. Onto teammate. Far side the ground. Lots of running players giving him some options. I don't know if that's carried, but the umpire's called the mark there. Blues looking to set something up, and they really need to do something here quickly. Schoenmaker. If that trusty left peg back towards the middle of the ground. Players are appealing for a free kick. Their house was asking the question. Ball in dispute. Tapped on forward in the direction of McKercher. Bombers again coming away. Bounced fortuitously there for the Blues. Really need to steady here. That's not a really good kick. Bombers have got the numbers there. Blues battling on around the ball. Umpire being asked the question. He's going to ball that up just in front of the interchange area there. But as Max Walker said earlier, it's just Mitch Thorpe will be looking for something to do here. But at the moment, the Bombers are full of confidence and started a terrific vein. Looking to clear it out here. Lots of numbers around the footy. Launceston will be desperate to keep it in here. Groenewegen pushes his opposite number out of the way. Got a ball up about 65 metres around from the Launceston goal. Groenewegen that time, first hands on. Pearce, quick kick forward. towards the half forward flank. That's a terrific mark taken there by James Leake.
And 50.
And 50. Well, that'll be handy. Not sure what that was for. Perhaps a bit of extras after. But Leake moving it on quickly. Not his best kick. Bounces in front of Hines. Bombers are going to clear it away, and it's nice back in the direction of Lee. Taking the mark right on the paint of 50. Lee drives it along. Bombers have got the numbers around a bit of carries. Blues are going to have another look at it here. Quickly moved on by hand back in the direction of Beaumont. Strikes it beautifully. Oh, Hines had his arms chopped. Bombers player slips over. Hines, a lot of pressure around the footy. Quick kick forward there from Simpson. That's going to be okay. They're going to come away with it. Avent kicks it into open space. Man Shandon leading in the race for the ball. Moves it on quickly by hand in the direction of Mitchell. Mitchell touches it down. Drives it deep inside 50 for the Bombers. But he's picked out, it looks like Schoenmaker. Is it there, the last line of defence?
Sure is, and it's a poor kick there from Bailey Mitchell.
It was. Had Griffiths all by himself, 20 metres clear in the pocket.
Long kick out now to Foley. Is a beauty from Schoenmaker. Great transference of play. The open side here. Connie Young couldn't quite take the mark. In the follow-up, Pfeiffer's got it. Tries to shrug a tackle. Kicks it straight to Max Roney. Fellow St Patrick student. He goes to 45, kick now to Man Shannon. Waste no time. Straight on to Ollington. Ollington inside 50. Ives leaves up. Oh, great handball. Ives to Griffiths for his second. Harvey Griffiths, thank you very much. Great footy by North Launceston. Started with Ollington, who got the kick inside 50, but a great pick-up for a big man at his shoelaces, Max Walker, Theo Ives, and Griffiths, who's the opportunist this year inside 50, one of many North Launceston have got. He converts.
He done really well then, didn't he? And again, didn't try to kick the leather off it, just kept it low, dribbled along the ground, only like one bounce through. But, geez, Ollington's been really, really impressive in this first 15, 18 minutes as well, hasn't he? It's moving well, covering lots of ground, obviously starting on the wing over here. There's some really big jobs for a lot of, I guess, immature senior football players for the Launceston Football Club today. There's, you look at what's happened here.
There's a whistle on play. Launceston players are pointing.
Just a warning, I think. The old 6-6 and 6 warning.
Quickly, Max. Clearance is 8-1 North Launceston's way at the moment. Hit out 10-3 the Bombers' way.
Well, that's 9. There's another one there, Dave, as you've called that. The Bombers are going to have another look at it. They've just been destroying them around the middle. Launceston trying to play the game off half back. That's a nice long kick towards the contest. Beaumont by hand trying to create something. Chopped off across half back there, and that's back in the direction of Lee. Lee opens it up just in front of us here. Bombers moving it forward. Oh, gee, that had a bit on it. It surprised Brad Mitchell. Caught Foley. Nice tackle. Blues composed. Little chip to touch. It's going to be mocked up across half back there though, and that's Max Roney, dispossessed by Foley. Foley drives it in towards Hines. Ball bounces really nicely there. That's going to be okay for Liam Jones. And to say that's a much-needed goal for Launceston's an understatement, but Liam Jones, real magician at ground level, isn't he, with that stuff, Maxie Walker, and a much-needed goal for Launceston.
Yeah, he is, and I'm just still a little bit concerned how easily that turf moved underneath. It was Bailey Mitchell out here on the wing. He just sort of ran towards it and his feet went from underneath him, which is, don't see that very often.
Yeah, not what you like to see, but handy goal. They're just hanging in there, Max.
Yeah,
7 goals in 18 minutes of footy. It's been a great game of footy so far.
Nice and open. It's not congested. Both of them are prepared to play a running game at the moment, so it's been really entertaining to watch. Goal
to Liam Jones, their second. They trail now by 20 points here at Windsor Park. There's a holding free kick we paid to North Launceston. And Blade Salisbury, I reckon, is having a really breakout season. He's a really valuable on-baller here for North Launceston. Drives it forward. Ives nearly takes a mark at the spillage. Avent hands it to Young. Throws it on the boot. Connor Young, this will go through. It does. Another goal to North Launceston. They can do no wrong inside 50 at the moment. And another goal. That's their 6th goal in 19 minutes of footy. And that's 6 goals out of 10 entries. That's elite sort of stuff. But Connor Young, who's not a big goal kicker, he's kicked a beauty there.
He kicked a really good goal. I'll tell you a little bit of trivia about Connor Young. Went to the best running coach in Tasmania, Peter Bowles, over summer and said,
Legend.
I just want to get a little bit quicker. So Bowlesy put the spikes on him, went down to the Bikes and Spikes Carnival in Hobart. Guess what? Won the maiden, and Bowles hasn't seen him since.
Okay, there you go. There you go. But he's reinvented himself as a forward, hasn't he? Like he was a backman for so many years there at Scottsdale and also at North Launceston. Back underway, McKercher takes the ball. He's tackled. Lee, though, another clearance. Inside 50, falls in the arms of Sam Foley at halfback.
Foley really important to him in that back line today. Back towards the finds a teammate there. Ship. Looking further afield. Bombers players floating back. He's gone out wide. That's not going to carry. Going to have a boundary throw in. Sorry, a ball up, I should say, just on the true wing position. But as we've said, what a goal fest. Sometimes we've been here and not seen that till three-quarter time. It's just been an outstanding display from the Bombers so far. We're going to get another look at it now. Another inside 50 to them, and that's a great mark taken there by Brandon Leary.
It's Ollington again, Max. He's getting
word,
a clearance after clearance at the minute.
Absolutely. He's got my votes at the moment. A bit early to give them, I think, Dave.
That's it.
Leary. We know what he can do on the run and from freakish positions. We'll see if he can deliver from a set shot. He's going to hit this from just inside the 50 when he strikes it. Dennis Lilly sort of run up he's got going on there. Hits it well. Going to get the trip. Going to get the trip, and he's going to get the accuracy, and that's Brandon Leary's second goal for the quarter. The Bombers can't do any wrong. They move along to 7-2-44. Launceston 2 goals straight, 12 max.
What were the inside 50s again? Sorry, Grues?
We've got 12-5, thanks to Dave Gruber there.
Yeah, 12-5. Like, it's showing, isn't it? Like, notice Mitch Thorpe coaching from the boundary again, which we've seen him do the last couple of times we're here. Just, I think, to support those young guys and give some advice when they're going on and off, which is a great thing to see. But, he'd be scratching his head at the moment, just thinking, how can I stop Alex Lee?
Speaking of the boundary, Chris, quickly, what do you got?
Ollington took that ball from an Alex Lee tap out. It was perfect, right here in front of us. Gee, they're playing well.
Talented player, Heath Ollington, here he is again. Handball to Sulzberger, they're dominating the clearances at the moment. Kick inside 50, carries to Theo Ives, who takes a strong mark out in front. Had to get down low, but took it on his chest, 40 out, 45-degree angle. But an impressive young player is Theo Ives. He's fifth to contested marks in the competition this season. And he's given an assist to Griffiths just a moment ago. And now he's got a chance to kick a goal himself. Taking his time. We don't have the 30-second clock in the TSL, but he'll be pushing it hard here at the moment. Here he comes across the paint of 50. This for the 8th goal. We only played 22 minutes. Theo Ives, and he's pushed that one, has he? Yes, just off to the left, one behind. 7-3-45, 2 straight 12. City Park Radio, bringing all the action of TSL footy as the sun starts to break through the clouds. Welcome sight. Sam Foley takes it a mile outside his defensive goal square. Kicks up the wing, off hands. Kick smothered, and it'll be out of bounds on the far side.
Just noticed something, Dave. I noticed it earlier, but I was trying to work out and look through the glasses. The central umpires today got something around their arms, which leads to an earpiece in their ear. So they've got some sort of communication gadget, which we haven't seen at TSL level before between the central umpires, which is great.
They might be listening to City Park Radio, Max.
They could be. Bit of technology.
Yes. Tom McEntee, Brad Percy and Hamish Johnson are the umpires. I should have mentioned that. As we're going to get another stoppage here on the wing. A game that hasn't seen too many stoppages so far. Free-flowing footy. Really good footy between two quality teams. But showing the most quality at the moment are the Northern Bombers. Lee wins the tap out. Players dive in. Simpson's in there. Holds it up. And we will get another stoppage. Dave Gruber, 15 hit-outs now to 4 for North Launceston. And the clearances tend to mount up again. 12-1 Northern Bombers' way. So we're going to get another stoppage once again. Same spot. Rob, see if you can clear it away for us.
Yeah, no worries. And as Max was highlighting before, the preparation these guys put in, he highlighted Conor Young. I know the work that Lee puts in the gym during the week, and you can certainly see it. He's the premier big man in the competition. Lots of numbers around the footy. Sulzberger tackled heavily, and we've moved about 10 metres from the last ball up. We're going to have another one back on that wing position. Blues will be trying to sneak one here, I reckon, before quarter time, but at the moment, red and black are just an irresistible force. They're going to come away with it and get another look at it. That's nice work there from Nicholas. Inside 50. Oh, is that a Hearn? Upended. Yep. Blues clear away through the agency of Foley. Hines, Jaden that is. He's picked out Tyrrell. Tyrrell. Heavily strapped knee. I was watching him move before Tyrrell. He looks a little bit proppy. Hope he's okay. Tyrrell onto the left foot. Drives it forward. Carries the pack. Bombers are going to just be nice and steady there. Great play, Rainey. He's done that very well today, but he's picked out back to Tyrrell. Tyrrell back towards the middle of the ground. Taken there by Bailey Gillow. He's opened it up out to Palfreman, who's got an acre of space onto that left foot. Not his best work. He's going to bounce around Hines. Lee Flang. Cox good just dropped back. Swings onto his left foot. Goes back and he's kicked it straight to Riley. So you don't often see that. Brad Cox, could you make a mistake like that? And he can't believe it. He
put his hands on his head straight away. I just don't think he saw Riley working.
And I don't think he could have done it in a worse spot, right in front of the can bar.
No, so I'm sure they're letting him know about it. But much needed goal here for the Blues on offer. Riley moves in, strikes it. The goal umpire doesn't move and makes the Bombers pay. So crucial goal as we just tick over to 26 minutes. Launceston 3 goals straight, 18. North Launceston 7-3-45, Max.
Yeah, you don't see him make too many mistakes, but that was probably a bit more than a mistake, that one, wasn't it? I think you're right, Dave. You didn't see Riley just blended in there somehow. There was 2 North Launceston players there, but they just had too much airtime on it, which is unlike... you don't see that very often from BCG, so he'll make amends, though. He's already kicked a couple, so he'll sneak down into the forward line where he's heading now. Probably... good reason for him to say to himself, I'm not going to go in the back line again, so I'll stay forward.
We haven't mentioned, Max, Fletcher Bennett and Jake Hines is a great matchup, isn't it? Fletcher Bennett had a great game last week.
Yep.
And Hines, a good opponent, back in the side today after a few weeks out after the state game. In the middle of Windsor Park, out it comes towards Ollington. Can he pick it up clean? He can. On the right boot now. Lays back on a kick towards half forward. Cox Goodger played for the free kick, not paid. Taken by Jaden Hines. Short now to McKercher. Colby McKercher steadies it down. Little kick to the boundary line to Tyrrell, who's covering a lot of territory. As Rob said, with that strapped up knee, seems to be going okay at the moment. Kick is a high one to half forward. Who can take a mark? Gee, that's a good marking. That's Bailey Gillow over there who's taken it. It is with the number 10. He plays on, gets it to McKercher. McKercher gets it inside 50. Riley again takes a mark. Second mark in a couple of minutes.
Bit of vintage Riley there, isn't it, in the last couple of minutes? Bit of confidence for him, which is good.
Turn the clock back, yeah.
Might be on the edge of his range. Man on the mark, 48 out.
Schoenmaker's coming around the back. Give it to him.
He's got McKercher short. He goes to him. I don't know how McKercher got so much latitude. Cox Goodger would not be happy with that one. He was there for a good 30 seconds. He drifted down. He got the ball to Riley originally. Now, set shot, Colby McKercher.
Tough from there, left foot.
Absolutely. He goes right back, almost as far as the Brew Coffee Hut. Great supporter of Sydney Park Radio.
Oh, great supporter of you, Dave.
Correct. One and the same. Colby McKercher for Launceston's 4th. Let's see what he can do. Sets it towards goal. Was always narrow. In fact, so narrow it's out of bounds on the full. Been playing 28 minutes. It's North Launceston 7-3-45, leading the Blues 3 straight 18.
Just another commercial arrangement that you've got, obviously.
Stand by. More to come.
Bombers bring it back in. Foley's drifted forward. House. Another inside 50 here. They'll want to snag one. Bring Snow that high ball. Lots of bodies around it. Oh, out of bounds just in front of the can bar there. So good physical pressure, Dave.
Quick score, Bell Reeve. 9-8-62 Clarence. 4-3-27 Lauderdale.
Important one for Clarence there.
And North Hobart 3-1-19 leading the Tigers 2-5-17 early days.
And the umpire throws it in. Inside Launceston's 50. Lots of bodies around the footy. North certainly won't want this to come out. Blues asking the question, but umpire just said no. I'll ball it up again about 35 metres out from the goal.
And the all-important score at the moment, Richmond Tigers 34, Hawks 26.
Carlton West Coast.
Okay.
Get to that in a second as we're back underway. Taken by Pearce. Underground kick up here towards Ives, who's drifted a long way up. A lot of players around the contest. First quarter went about 30 minutes, and at quarter time, it's North Launceston 7-3-45. The lead Launceston 3 straight 18. Did you end up getting that West Coast Carlton score, Max?
I did. Probably don't want to know it if you're a West Coast Eagles supporter. There's a bit of biffo happening on the ground just after the siren out here.
Keep an eye on that.
Quick score, Carlton 28, West Coast Eagles 1 point. That's 7 minutes to go in the first.
Dear oh dear. Well, while
it's a rolling maul there, I think, Rob. Rugby parlance.
All Blacks and the Springboks. But while that's getting sorted out, Dave, we'll quickly go through a bit of a Richie Beno theme here with the twos for North Launceston. We've got 2 to Brad Cox Goodyer, Brandon Leary, Harvey Griffiths, and a single to Connie Young. And for Launceston, they're all singles to Liam Jones, Dylan Riley, and Lockie Presnell. Still a bit of push and shove going on.
Yeah, but the second quarter will be starting by the time they separate here. Finally, they're going to their huddles. And stats for Dave Gruber. Hit-outs 19 North Launceston, the Blues 6. Clearances 16-1. I don't think I've seen that in a long time while we're doing these stats. 16-1 the Northern Bombers way. Inside 50s, 14 the Northern Bombers, 7 to Launceston. So 7 goals from those 14 entries. Marks inside 53 apiece. Free kicks 5 apiece. And intercept mark 6 to Launceston, 2 to North Launceston. Before we go for a break, Max, your quick thoughts to quarter time.
Well, look, the stats tell it all. Groups of stats, those hit-outs, the inside 50s, it's all North Launceston at the moment. They're, 20-odd points up at quarter time.
27.
27 points, thanks, Dave. Didn't do my maths quick enough there. But, just their elite disposer. Sometimes you come to games like this and you see the McKirchers and Schoenmakers and all that, and you think, wow, these guys are, pretty elite talent within their age group, and you probably expect too much for them sometimes. Like, I noticed they turned the ball over a couple of times there. Colby didn't hit a target. He can be forgiven for that. That's no problem at all, but you just want them to settle a little bit. Is it Launceston thinking that they're going to do the job for them, these young blokes? That's certainly not going to be the case. They need 22 players to contribute, and at the moment North have got 22 contributing. You run through their list and everyone's getting a bit of a touch of it. If they're not getting a touch, they're putting a block on. If they're not putting a block, they're putting a punch to the ball to get it to ground. So North are certainly miles ahead at the moment, not necessarily on the scoreboard, and Launceston have got to catch up a bit here.
City Park Radio 103.7 and 96.5. Time for a break here, and we're back in a moment with North Launceston leading by 27 points.
Play your cards right this winter with new LPG deals from Elgas. Whether you're moving in or you're settled in, make the switch online today. From LPG account credits, fixed pricing and carbon offset options, Elgas has got you covered. Don't lose out this winter. Visit the website, choose your new deal and sign up today. Go online, www.elgas.com.au. Elgas, local, safe and reliable.
A sponsor of City Park Radio.
It's a very simple idea. The annual can drive, organised by Zest and the Launceston Benevolent Society. During this month, when you go shopping, purchase a few more cans and non-perishable foods and drop them off at City Park Radio. And you'll be helping to put some food on the table for people who are doing it tough in our community. We'll accept your donations during our office hours, 9:30am to 3pm, Monday to Friday at the City Park Cottage. And if you fill our box, then we'll get another one, and another one, and another one. And we'll keep the boxes coming till the end of the month. Supporting the Launceston Benevolent Society with the annual can drive. Your community station, City Park Radio.
What if I told you there's a job out there where you can really make a difference? Where you can inspire others and be inspired? Where your workmates make you laugh constantly? Not only that, but you could work from home, set your own days and hours, and find financial freedom. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, it's not. If you love working with children, join our Thrive Group family and become one of our family daycare educators. Give us a call on 6341 1555 or visit thrivegroup.org.au. Thrive Group. proud sponsor of City Park Radio.
This sports broadcast is brought to you by Elgas. For all your LPG needs, talk to the locals with knowledge. Elgas, call 13 11 61, a sponsor of City Park Radio.
Dave Moore here with you on City Park Radio and the TSL live stream. Alongside me is Rob Soward, Max Walker, Dave Groover, and the boys on the boundary, Tony and Chris, will be with them in just a moment. Compliments of Damien Donnelly and Darren Lovell. Rob, you've received some individual stats for our North Lonnie supporters. They only really focus on the Launceston players, so apologies for that, but they do look at the odd North Launceston player as well. So what do you got there, Rob?
Yeah, the All-Australian McKercher leading with 10 at the moment, but Ben Simpson, the Bombers skipper, second air and 9. Foley and Leake, as you'd expect, across that back line with 8 and 6 respectively. Schoenmaker with 6. So the back line very busy, Dave, at the moment for Launceston.
Absolutely, yeah. And Colin McKercher there, 8 kicks and 2 handballs along with 3 marks, setting himself up for a big possession game here at Windsor Park. They've just been smashing the clearances, haven't they, Max? That's really the engine room, right from that first 5 minutes of play. The likes of Pearce, Sulzberger, Simpson, etc. Yeah, getting that first opportunity.
Yeah, and Launceston have got the capacity to adjust that. You know, Powerfulman's a good hard ball winner. House is a good hard ball winner. They just need to go one-on-one, because the reality is, and it's shown already in a quarter of footy, that Lee's probably going to win 90% of the taps.
Yeah.
So they've got to adjust that and think, okay, well, I can't run to where I think Gronners or Seth Pfeiffer or someone's going to punch it. I'm going to have to man up them, wait for the ball to hit the ground and rely on us to get it out, shovel it out, and then start the run. But they certainly got to go one-on-one when the ball's in the air in the middle.
Picking that for you there, Max.
Yeah, I was just going to say, picking that point up, Dave. Paul Freeman, 2 possessions.
Yeah, he needs to lift that. So far this year, Alex Lee has had 163 hit-outs to advantage, and that's double anybody else in the league. So that's just an elite statistic. And we talked about his work at the centre clearance as well. I think the guys down there at the boundary, and they're facing this way now. So, Tony, what do you got for us?
Mitch pointed out the bleeding obvious. They've been slaughtered in the clearances at the centre area. He says we've got enough time to turn this round, but you've got to get a bit more serious about that. There's a few of the people taking a backward step occasionally, and he feels that defence, even though they're under siege, have been conceding a few of the easy ones. He'd rather they put a person on their backside and concede a free kick rather than just allow them to get the soft kick over the shoulder and kicking goals. Here's Chris.
Yes, Brad Koskuja actually surprisingly said they're a little bit too quick. Sometimes they need to hang back a bit. And, of course, really happy with the mids. In fact, they're going to rotate the mids just to spread the load, but he was really happy with the mids getting it out of the centre.
Thanks, boys.
I like those House with that bigger body too. That's the sort of stuff. Bang and crash. Got to control the middle.
Today's broadcast brought to you by Elgas, for your LPG needs statewide. Talk to the locals with knowledge. Phone 13 11 61 is Rob Soward. Second quarter action.
Bit of a repeat there of the Lee work in the first quarter. Got first hands on. This time he's got Deegan Madden against him. So Blues trying something different. Secondary ball up there just outside the circles. Quick kick forward there for the Bombers. Blues are going to mop up. That's okay. That's going to be a nice mark taken just in front of us here. Played on quickly. Schoenmaker loads up that left leg. Nice long kick. Boundary lines. Probably cleverly kept in play there. Beaumont put his head over it. Pushed towards the boundary line. Didn't have it.
He had it all right.
Well, he didn't have it at the end, but the umpire said you hung on to it. That's going to be a free kick there to the Bombers. Oh, that's not his best work there, Oscar Van Dam. He's found the boundary line and given them a little bit of a break there, the Blues.
I don't know if Tony or Chris can just find out about Groenewegen. I was just watching him when he walked to the bench at quarter time. He started on the bench. Don't know whether he was injured, but he looked very despondent.
We'll keep an eye on that one. Get to the boys when we can. Boundary throw in, deep in attack. Lee with the tap out. Finds Simpson beautifully. Up the wing towards Griffiths. Taken by Pfeiffer. Can't quite hang on to it. And Shannon goes in. Paul Freeman, 2 possessions the first quarter. Now he's had a third. Nice hands in close. Pfeiffer to McKercher to Schoenmaker. Long shot for goal. Oh, he's Schoenmaker! From 60 out on the boundary line. What a kick that is. Long boot from Schoenmaker. And that's a big goal for Launceston. One they needed at the start of this quarter. And they go on a 4 straight 24. 7-3, 45. Max, that's all of 60 metres plus.
Yep. Well, we know he can kick it. That's a standard kick for him. And he's great to watch when he gets the opportunity to wind up on that left. Even the kick before it, where he just kicked it over the line right here in front of us. When I say over the line, over the group of players, broke a line with his kick. So got a penetrating boot, which a lot of the AFL scouts are liking.
So back in the middle of Windsor Park again. What a great contest we've got. Plenty of goals. Really good highlights. As Alex Lee wins the hit out here towards A-Vent. Can't take it with him. House gets the handball to Polfreeman. Kicks to half forward. Blues in attack again. Falls to Roney. He's tackled immediately by Kircher. His fellow Devil there. There'll be a ball up right on attacking 50.
The risk of stating the obvious, Dave, you've just got to be prepared that Lee's going to win the tap, and Launceston have just got to shark it, haven't they?
Yep, he wins the tap again towards Sulzberger, but there's too many players around the contest to get an effective possession. So we'll get a secondary ball up. Ground not in bad condition. We had 10 mils of rain on Thursday. It's been a pretty wet little period here in northern Tassie, but it's come up okay. Lee with the tap, tries to find Ollington, but it goes to A-Vent. Goes back into play, short handball to Simpson. Lovely releasing handball to Roney. Roney to Ollington. Smart play, under pressure. Taps it over to Manshandon. Short left foot kick to Ives is a beauty. Great skills, Manshandon. Now Ives has 2 kicks out from goal. They haven't had an attacking threat this quarter. Ives, long transference of play to the middle to Bennett. Not sure about the wisdom of that one. Bennett's gone down heavily. Van Dam follows up, now to Nicholas. Nicholas looks for his left. Gets tackled, back to Van Dam. Gets freed as Van Dam inside 50 over the head of Cox Goodger towards the dangerous Leary. Griffiths hits the contest. Back to Leary. He's tackled without it. Then the umpire saw it. It's going to be a free kick to Brandon Leary. He's already kicked Rob. Two today. So he's going to line up for his third. Not a hard shot this one. Just 30 out.
Was it a free
Right
kick,
centre.
Dave?
I think it was.
He
Yep.
just leant back into the tackle. You see players do it all the time.
Yep. No.
Most of the time an umpire wouldn't pay it, but I think you're right, Rob. He may have just been hanging on to him at the same time.
So we just saw Fletcher Bennett go down a moment ago. I think he's up and at it again. Might have just been winded. Brandon Leary, we're right behind this one in the Windsor Function Centre. Little stuttering run up, and he's missed this one to the right. So one behind. North Launceston 7-4-46 lead the Blues 4 straight 24.
He'd be disappointed with that, Leary. Sets himself such high standards. Schoenmaker brings it back in. Nice long kick. Direction of Hines, tunnelled under it. Umpire said play on. Get a ball up there. I thought Hines could have got a free kick there. He looked like he was pushed under the ball. He was the target on the kick out. Early stages of the second term, just about approaching 5 minutes. Launceston 4 straight 24, trailing the Bombers 7-4-46. The kick forward there. Bombers player wrapped up, and it's been a very open game, as Dave Moore said earlier. It certainly great spectacle for people that are here to see that amount of goals kicked in that first quarter, and both sides enjoy that open play. Lee again. This time falls to the advantage of the Blues. Polfreeman awkwardly hacks it forward. Gillow, nice. Moves it on to Riley. It's going to be okay. Beaumont onto that left leg. Drives towards goal. Oh, gee whiz. Just run out of room on that one. Beaumont, the Devils captain, behind there to the Blues. Almost bring it back into play. It's a great mark taken there. Ollington. Been very, very busy, as Max said earlier. Very smart player with his positioning too, Ollington. Drives it back towards the middle, and he's picked out Griffiths all by himself. Moves it on quickly, but chopped off. Nice mark taken there by Presnell. Presnell back inside 50 in the Riley direction, goes through his hands, bounces around, bobbles around. Bombers through the agency of Leaf Lang. Gets his hands free, settles and steadies. It's going to be okay. And that's a nice diving mark taken there by Ethan Hubbard.
45 kick slips as he kicks it. Might find the target though on Sulzberger. Gets his hands free. Handball here looking for Young. Has to spin in the tackle. And he's prepared to take the tackle in the end as he calls the stoppage. So it'll be a ball up centre wing.
Just so we're not being biased, Groobs, Hawks 62, Richmond 34.
Okay. So a big game for the Tigers here. Their finals hopes just about to be done if they lose this one. Simpson, lovely handball to Ollington. Ollington here towards Ives. Falling over there is Leake. Taken by Pfeiffer to Schoenmaker. Off half-back, Schoenmaker. Kicked a beautiful goal a few minutes ago. Out here looking for Tyrrell. Hubbard will get there first and he'll see it over the boundary line. Just a couple of scores around the grounds in the TSL. It's Clarence 10-10-70, leading Lauderdale 4-3-27. And down at North Hobart, it's the Tigers now 3-4-22, leading North Hobart 3-1-19. And here, it's the Bombers at the moment by 21 points. Nice start to this quarter, though, by Launceston, just working their way back into the game. House wins the tap out on this occasion. Towards the boundary line, your secondary boundary throw-in.
Just like those bigger bodies around the ball, Dave, they've certainly had to do something to try and stem the bleeding.
So boundary umpire throws it back in. Is it starting to get quite overcast here at Windsor Park? Lee with the tap straight to Simpson. Can't get a handball away. Canny lays on top of him. Be another ball up. In fact, might be a sling tackle there. Free kick Simpson. Plays on straight away. Gets it to Manshandon. Manshandon, long handball. Leaflang will be under all sorts of pressure. Gets the handball away under pressure, but coughs it up. Connor McCormack with it, but he gives it straight to Connor Young, who gives it straight to Dylan Riley. He can't pick it up. Off the ground by McKercher. Now to Hyatt. Back to McKercher. Connor McCormack. McKercher, third possession in this passage of play. Short now to Hines, who marks centre wing.
Hines looks for options further afield. Bombers getting back and filling that space. Goes back towards the middle of the ground. Not a bad kick and taken there by James Leake. Leake moves it along. Schoenmaker, big kick forward into side 50. Players set themselves. Lots of numbers around the footy. Launceston player taken high there. I think that's
They might be holding the ball.
Could be holding the ball.
No, Tom McAfee.
No.
I tell you what, I don't think the boys there do the stats for metres gained, Max, but Ari Schoenmaker would be right up there. 60 metres every time he gets it.
Yep, absolutely. Is that how they measure it? Like the kicker, or is it run and carry
I
stuff?
don't know.
Or?
Oh, you might be right there. Yeah.
But it's just such a valuable weapon. It just breaks the lines, and they use him every opportunity they can coming out of that back line. So the umpire's going to ball this one up just on the 50. The paint work there, Lee. Lots of bodies around the ball. There'll be another ball up. This time a bit further in Bomber territory. Ruckman do battle. We haven't seen Groenewegen again, so I think we might be onto something there with that call from the boundary. Leary around the footy. It's going to come out. It's going to be okay. Ives finds his teammate in space in Manshandon. Beautiful by hand duck in the direction of Young. Cox Goodger. Tack before he got there. Leary tackled heavily. Great pressure, Blues. Oh, you've got to do that, Max, don't you, with him?
Yeah, you do. And you talk about Groners. He's over there. Looks like he's getting some work on the quad.
Okay, ball up. Umpire Tom McIntyre throws it into the air. No one goes for the tap out. Lee might take it though. Tries to wrestle free. Stands up in the tackle by Jamison House. Tasmanian teammates. Half time we're catching up with Josh Arnold, the coach of the Glenorchy Footy Club. Talk about how the Magpies are going. Also talk a bit about the state game. Here's Avent now, inside 50. A lot of Blues there. Intercept mark to Schoenmaker. He's having a mighty good game here today for the Blues. Lays back on the kick. Up here towards Deegan Madden. Boy from Longford, he fumbles. Simpson takes it. A good follow-up tackle by Deegan Madden. He'll be rewarded for that. Deegan Madden, he did a little fumble in the first place, but the follow-up laid a big tackle on the Ben Simpson, who's a tough player to pin down. Wins himself the free kick. Short kick to McCormack's not great though. Rainey in a battle there with Beaumont. Beaumont just shifts him aside to Leak. Rainey a second opportunity. Now Avent taking an attack. It's rough and tough. It was an open first quarter, Max, but it's getting a bit closer this quarter.
It is. The sting, I guess the sting's gone out of it a little bit, and hasn't been a lot of inside 50s for either team so far, I wouldn't have thought, this quarter.
Check that one in a second as Sulzberger releases Avent. Runs his full measure, slips over in the spongy turf. It's chucked now by Palfreyman. His shift kick is okay, is it? Nearly getting there was Mitchell. That's Bailey Mitchell. He's taken the tackle and does well, the young man. He was outnumbered. And inside 50s for Dave Gruber. 5 to Launceston, 3 to North Launceston. So next stoppage after this, we'll get to Tony Webb, who's got some news. Lee takes it out of the air, gets it now to Mitchell.
Ooh.
And he's tackled from behind Bailey Mitchell. He can't release it now. He gets a high tackle, does he? Yes, he does. So on the orange boots, number 37, Bailey Mitchell. Inside 50, you can take a mark. Irons! 3 Irons! If you don't mind, rises from behind, got the sit, and takes a big mark, 20 metres out, directly in front.
You love those old school marks, don't you?
Love it.
Absolutely fantastic. Big, strong forward like Ives doing that, Dave.
Yep.
Just a highlight of the game.
Jack Avent really starting to come into this game. He's had a fair bit of it this quarter. Haven't seen a goal for a few minutes here. Ives should convert here. Kick into the northern end of the ground on the left foot. Keeps it low, keeps it straight. And scores a goal for North Launceston. Has a bit of a word to his opponents in the follow-up. That's North Launceston now 8-4-52, leading the Blues 4-1-25. Down to you, Tony Webb.
Hi. Yeah, just before quarter time, Joe Grunewegen's body language wasn't really that good. And at the quarter time huddle, Jamison House and Deegan Madden were talking to each other and Joe about how to play him. And the instructions from Mitch Thorpe were to try and put a bit of body on Lee and wear him down. Grunewagen has been having some work done on the quads. He's just sort of been walking around. I don't know. It sort of looks like he wants to come out again, but he hasn't. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, that's a big development in this game.
Particularly in light of the fact that the Blues' options are two very, very young ruckmen. Talented and exciting as they might be against the best player in the state. It's going to be a free kick there, picked out to McKercher, moves it on quickly. House, by hand back to McKercher. Nice little chip kick forward, that's clever. And McKercher, right on the paint of 50, and that's a mark taken there by Deegan Madden, the player we referenced earlier. Talented junior, and he's got his hands full in the ruck today. He's going to be kicking from right on 50. So, pretty important opportunity. He's looking around. I think he's a bit worried about the trip. He's going to hit this from just outside 50. Runs around the man on the mark. Strikes it okay. It's going to drop short. Bombers have got the numbers around the footy. Blues battling away there. Quickly put on the boot. Unfortunately, in the Liam Jones radar, not online. That's another behind there to Launceston. They'll move on to 4-3-27. North Launceston 8-4-52. Played 15 minutes in the second term.
Long kick out. Taking it behind. Oh, he's taken it a tackle. And that's Jack Avent, one of the best tacklers in the business. He wins the free kick. Hines thought he could just cruise off there, and he ran into Hines. So Avent, as I said, is really starting to assert some influence in this game. Gets it to Bennett. Inside defensive 50 to Alex Lee. Little kick forward here towards Roney. Wisely doesn't play on. He steadies things down. Goes here to Lockie Mitchell. Man on here is Oscar Mansell, who takes it on the wing. Nearly slips over. That's the slippery part of the ground just there. We've seen a lot of players lose their footing today. Short now to Fletcher Bennett. Patient build up here from the Bombers. Right in front of us here, Fletcher Bennett kicks the half forward, off hands. Out of mid-air is Jamison House. Kicks it straight back to a nest of Bombers, although Liam Jones takes it, then he's tackled. He looked around for an option, and he got hit from behind with a fierce tackle there from Mitchell.
Giving him no space today, have they?
It's Lockie Mitchell, correct, Rob? Absolutely. We've seen that in evidence in the last 5 minutes. Some heavy tackles from North Launceston. Backwards goes Blade Sulzberger to Roney. Defensive side of the centre circles. All the players are ahead of him. He has Lee as an outlet. He can handball it off to Bennett if he wants to. Decides to hold it. Long kick from Lee. They set themselves. Ahern takes a great mark. Jack Ahern in a pack of about 4. You can hear the North Launceston supporters in front of us showing their appreciation. That was a great mark, Max Walker.
done it easy, didn't he? Just read it better than the other half a dozen blokes who were contesting it, and really strong grab. Did not look like dropping it once he got his fingers to it. So good build-up too. Just patience. Launceston are pushing all their players in the north back half at the moment, or north back half. So making it hard.
Jack Ahern, he kicked from right on the paint of 50. Now he goes around. Does it pretty well. That's a goal. That's a goal. No touch right on the line. Good work in the end there by Seth Pfeiffer. Gee, I thought that was going to carry the pack, but just dipped at the last moment. One behind. And the Bombers go now 8-5-53, leading Launceston 4-2-26.
Schoenmaker this time goes short. Probably fooled everyone there with that rocket he's got on left leg. Josh Gillow. Gillow comes out here towards us. And that's a really nice mark taken there by Ahern. Drives it back in. Another look at it here. It's all Blues. Mark taken there by Seth Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer moves it out in the direction of Hines, but picks out the other Hines. Jake as opposed to Jaden.
There he is.
Goes in the Jaden direction now. Hines to Hines. Back in towards Schoenmaker by hand. McKercher. Just quality player. He's bounced. That's not his best kick. That's an absolute barrel, all right. Bombers player being held on to there. Umpire's paid advantage. The ball's going to come back here towards us. Taken there by
Pierce.
Pierce. I had a blank there for a minute. I was just saying Nathan and forgot his last name. Nathan Pierce. He's just been terrific. Great season for the Bombers this year. We talked about him earlier, one of the leading clearance players in the league. Played directly in front of us here. At 70 metres out from the Bombers' goal. Lee with a big tap. House. Back towards McKercher. By hand. Leak. Little chip kick towards the middle. Van Dam, handy fist in there. Back Bennett. Back to Van Dam. Looks further afield. Ooh, carries the teammate in the direction of Young. Hines didn't have it. Paul Freeman. Jake Hines. Played between the arcs at the moment. Jake Hines goes back towards the middle. And that one's okay and taken there by Riley. Riley moves it on really quickly. Beaumont, I think that was. The ball carried him. Bombers players got it, driven it back towards the middle. And it's a nice mark taken there by Fletcher Bennett.
Max Rainey's been pretty good as a sweep across that half-back, Max.
Yeah, look, he uses the ball really well every time he gets it. And what did impress me in the first half, he had a kick from here, left foot, just hit the target, lace out.
Long from Fletcher Bennett towards half forward. Big pack forms off hands of Ollington. Jones is in there. Little kick out of the contest. That might be deliberate because it wasn't anywhere near a teammate. And that's how the umpire sees it. So Sam Foley will take the free kick. Defensive side of the wing. 53 plays 26. Inside 50s for Dave Gruber this quarter. 6 apiece. Gee, a low number of inside 50s. A lot of play between the arcs. Lee in front position. Can't take it. Thumped over the back. Here's Lee Flang to Oscar Mansell. Backwards now here to Mitchell. Lovely kick. Finds man Shannon. Great skills North Launceston. He has Brad Cox Goodger at half forward. Now you play on here. Short kick leading up. Ives takes the mark. Great footy North Launceston. They got the ball at half back. They switch play. And that's what you do at training. And they ended up here with Theo Ives, who's taken the mark. About 45 out. 45-degree angle. Impressive stuff, Max.
Yeah, I half expected Cox Goodger there
Yes.
sort of just balk around Hines and try and get back on his left, but done the team thing, just popped it up in front of Theo to give him a chance to kick his second for the quarter.
Here he is, Theo Ives, impressive young player. Left foot for goal. Ooh, he's shanked that one terribly. It's into the pine trees there at the back of, didn't even make the netting. It's missed the netting, and it's out the back near the Christian school there. Out of bounds on the full.
Missed a lot.
Sam Foley relieving free kick. He's going to switch now. Takes it here to Gillow. Now to Schoenmaker. Short kick's not great. Straight to Harvey Griffiths. Griffiths 2 kicks out from goal. Low kick. Leary can't quite take it. On the follow-up, he's got it. He's descended upon. Comes out to Jaden Hines. He's tackled from behind. Pile on there as Jamison House came in. It's going to be a ball up.
You do wonder, Dave, when you've got a beautiful left leg by Schoenmaker, why you do that little chippy kick there rather than blast the thing up the line.
Little handball now to Deegan Madden. They'll work it out here. Presnell got the kick away under pressure. Straight to Alex Lee. So repeat entries here for North Launceston. What can Lee do? Sets it up. Ahern again. Oh, that's a great mark, Sam Foley. Really good defensive mark. And slow to get up. The pack collapsed beneath him. Handball's off to McKercher.
McKercher takes a bounce. Little chip kick back in the centre square. That's okay. Riley slips as he was about to give it. Players on the overlap on the far side there. And that's taken by Presnell. Moves it on. Blues have got the numbers here. They'll be looking to create something. Ball's gone into the forward line. And that's a really important hand on that one. There from Leafling, I think that was. Yep. Got a hand and punched that through when the Blues were looking ominous. Bombers won't want to give something up. Approaching 23 minutes here in the second quarter. Mark taken there across the half-back line by Mitch Nicholas. He's picked out Manshandon. Little chip kick there from Manshandon. Back to Pearce. Pearce inside 50 in the Ives direction. Blues have got the numbers. Hines slips over at the crucial time. Leary, oh, clever. Back in the Griffiths direction this time. Ball's going to, not quite. Not quite. Hit the was looking for the wrong and it's spinning around there, but unfortunately there, Griffiths, he was offline, Max.
We had a front row seat then of Brandon Leary, and you could tell nearly before he had the ball what he was going to do with that. He had that worked out that he would spin out of the tackle while he was on his back and feed that out. That was just brilliant.
Yeah, he's a talented player, all right. House moves it on quickly by hand. Blues will be trying to put one here, but the Sirens defeated them. And at half-time, we've got the Northern Bombers 8-6-54, leading Launceston 4-3-27. I'll quickly go through the goal kickers. So for North Launceston, the twos are still the theme. We've got Cox-Goodger, Leary and Griffiths with 2. Singles each there to Young and Ives. For Launceston, Jones, Riley, Schoenmaker and Presnell all with singles.
Max, just the 3 goals in that. In fact, only 2 goals in that quarter. One each to Launceston and North Launceston. So a different sort of game there in quarter number 2.
Yeah, look, and part of the reason that there was no goals kicked, I just when North had that last thrust forward 2 or 3 minutes before the end of the quarter, there was 5 extra Launceston defenders pushing back. All their forwards were in the defensive half, whereas their direct opponents just stayed back out, so North weren't cluttering up their forward line. They just allowed them to drift in, and they knew that when they did get the ball, or if Launceston did get the ball, there was no options for them to kick it out. So good defensive pressure there by the Bombers, but yeah, really interesting quarter. A couple of goals, like you said, so not as free-flowing, but still quite entertaining. And yeah, it's not over yet. There's still still a bit of footy to be played in this game.
Team stats, thanks to Dave Gruber, who's right next to me here. He does a great job each and every week. Hit-outs, 34 North Launceston to 9 to Launceston. Clearances, the Bombers 24-5. Inside 50s, 24-14. So it was 10-7 in that quarter. The Bombers' way. Marks inside 56 to North Launceston, 4 to Launceston. And the free kicks, 12 to the Bombers, 9 to the Blues. Intercept marks, 10 to Launceston, 5 to North Launceston. So, gee, we look at the hit-outs and still the clearances, Max. They're well in front in that stat.
Sorry, Dave.
Yeah, you're right. You
just having a conversation with Rob and I.
I'm saying that the Northern Bombers continue to win those clearances.
Yeah, well, now that Groenewegen gone and probably gone for the rest of the game as well, it's going to make it more challenging for the guys, isn't it? You've got Seth Pfeiffer, Deegan, Madden. They're probably the 2 likely options.
Jamison House a bit.
House, but he'll be able to run around the ground. House be a lot more productive against Lee around the ground. But I don't think they're going to stop him in the middle. So allow them to take the ball in the middle, but they've got to stop the delivery of him giving it to his, Sulzbergers, Pearce, Simpson and the like. Yeah, they're not going to stop him winning the tap. He's proven that already in a half of footy.
Okay, we'll take a break here on City Park Radio. When we come back, we're going to have a chat to the Glenorchy coach, Josh Arnold.
Play your cards right this winter with new LPG deals from Elgas. Whether you're moving in or you're settled in, make the switch online today. From LPG account credits, fixed pricing and carbon offset options, Elgas has got you covered. Don't lose out this winter. Visit the website, choose your new deal and sign up today. Go online, www.elgas.com.au. Elgas, local, safe and reliable.
A sponsor of City Park Radio.
Barrett's Music is proud to support music in Tasmania in many forms. In fact, we've been supporting music in our community for decades. We value music participation in Tassie, so we can help you get started with expert advice on hand. With a wide range of instruments in stock, plus great learning resources and interest-free purchase plans, we can help you discover the music in you. Call into Barrett's at 104 George Street, Launceston, or phone 6331 9355. Barrett's Music, a sponsor of City Park Radio.
Is inflation eroding your nest egg? Income Direct can help. We assist Australian seniors and retirees to keep ahead of inflation with fixed income accounts. Our team is Australia-based. Our clients love our competitive interest rates, and there are no fees. Conditions and risks apply. We encourage you to seek independent financial and legal advice before choosing Income Direct. Visit incomedirect.com.au or call 1300 798 334 to speak to one of our team members about how you can put your capital to work today. A sponsor of City Park Radio. This sports broadcast is brought to you by Elgas. For all your LPG needs, talk to the locals with knowledge. Elgas, call 13 11 61. A sponsor of City Park Radio.
Welcome back to Windsor Park. Dave Moore with you here on 96.5, 103.7 FM City Park Radio and via our live stream. Also the TSL live YouTube of this game. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you're listening or viewing it this afternoon. Half time is North Launceston 8-6-54, leading the Blues 4-3-27. It's a pleasure to welcome our half-time guest to our broadcast this afternoon. It's none other than Tasmanian player and champion and, of course, the coach of the Glenorchy District Footy Club, Mr. Josh Arnold. G'day, Josh.
How you going, lads?
Not too bad, mate. How are you spending your day off?
Actually going to some local footy. We've got some boys down playing at New Norfolk at Boyer Oval this afternoon, so I thought we'd pop down there with a few boys and come down and have a look and watch a bit of local footy. So, yeah, it's been good. No worries.
Josh, congratulations on what you've done with Glenorchy this year, taking on the coaching role, I suppose, in difficult circumstances for the club. When did you first realise the opportunity could come up to coach the team this year?
Yeah, look, thanks, boys. Look, it's been a great experience, and obviously the club myself and the club had some discussions, sort of when Ace, had to sort of take that step back, and obviously health comes first. So, look, the club approached me and said, look, would I be interested in taking over? And I was more than happy. I'd obviously spent the previous 12 months under Ace as his assistant, and when they approached me, I was more than happy to jump in. So probably around the late February sort of mark, it's sort of become real, and obviously took the job on, and it's been great so far.
And when you took the job on, Josh, what was the first thing you looked at doing for the team? Obviously, there was a lot of press around about the club maybe not fielding a team in 2023. So when that was confirmed and you knew you had the group together, what was the first thing you wanted to do?
Yeah, look, and as you say, there was a lot of external noise, around the club and around the playing group. But first thing I did was grab the players and just say, boys, look, it's what happens internally. We know what we're doing. We need to tick the boxes, stay together, stay tight. And we've got a fantastic group of boys who have really, really knuckled down. And I think some of the results have spoke for themselves. There was a lot of talk about where we're going to be as a club and as a team, and I think we've probably really, really played a lot better, I suppose, than what most people thought we would have. So, yeah, look, it was about galvanising the group, coming together and making sure that we really stick together and push through this season and ensure that the club's there for another 100 years.
How important have the other more experienced players been, Josh, this year? I mean, the likes of Matthew Joseph, Richard Dilger, Daniel Muir, Cam Duffy, these sort of guys. How important have they been in building that team throughout the season?
Yeah, they've been instrumental to to our young guys, not only just on the footy field but away from the field in how we prepare for games and the little things on what you eat, how you prepare your body throughout the week, how you train, all the little bits and pieces that everyone doesn't see, when you're away from the club. So they've been instrumental in our young guys, and our young guys have really tried to tap into that as well. And I feel that as much as the young guys have really stood up this year, I believe it's a lot of the older guys, not necessarily on the field, but what they've done off the field to be able to help the group grow.
One of my co-commentators this afternoon, Josh, is Michael Walker, and he's got a question for you. Well, you go.
Sorry. Yeah. G'day, Josh. Welcome to City Park. Just a question. I'm always intrigued when you've only got one team at your disposal, like a group of a nucleus of, probably 25 to 28, hopefully. How do you go when you get a few injuries? Like, what's the relationship with the STSL clubs? Is there some sort of permit arrangement where they can come and go, especially post the 30 June date? Like, we're all familiar with that the old clearance is closed at that time. But what's the deal there to ensure that you guys can put your best possible team on the field each week?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, look, we've been extremely lucky, to be honest, with our injuries this year. I mean, we've had minimal, and I suppose that comes back to the work that the guys have done throughout the pre-season under Jack Hale. So that's the first tick. The second part of that has been that we've been able to go back to our local clubs, our feeder clubs in New Norfolk and Claremont. A lot of our players obviously have been a part of those clubs, played juniors there, or have come from those clubs, early in their careers. So, we've gone back and really built those relationships, and it's, as I said earlier on in the show, that we've obviously got some guys playing in Norfolk and Claremont today that have gone back and helped those clubs out. They're obviously, in a similar position as what we are. So, in regards to the permits and that, we've selected some players that we feel that could help our club out, and vice versa, and we've put in season permits, and so that means then obviously the players can transition between the two clubs. So when those clubs have got buys or we've got a buy like today, we've been able to help each other out. So that's been a massive part in being able to continue throughout the year and stay afloat. So hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, mate, just as far as the on-field's concerned too this year, I mean, you've been really close in a couple of games. You pushed Launceston right to the limit a few weeks ago, and deep into the game last week, you're only about 8 or 9 points down in the last quarter. How do you take that next step to when you get close to a good team to try and get over the line? I know it's easier said than done.
Yeah. We have, and I feel from our first quarter of the year, we've really grown, throughout this next block. We've obviously got that last block of 6 games to come up, and that's one thing we've spoken about. We've been able to be in games for 2 quarters, 3 quarters, but probably apart from that Lonnie game, it's probably the only game throughout the year that we've actually been able to get, a 4-quarter performance. So we've been working really hard to be able to try and keep ourselves in games and get to that final. Get to that final quarter and being within striking distance so we can actually go on and win that game. And again, having a young team, inexperience in those types of games, that'll come with games under their belt. And as I've said, we are fairly young, so we lack that experience when it comes to those situations throughout games. But it's fantastic that we've got the likes of like Luke Nicholson, Brady Simpson, Isaac Manson, Nathan Blowfield, Blake Waite, that are getting up around the 50, 60 games. So we're getting games into those boys, and they're getting experience. And I've seen a massive growth in those guys from last year to this year. And the future of the footy club is really exciting. We just need to now try and bring in some experienced guys that can come in and help these guys, so we don't have to rely so much on them week in, week out.
You'd probably answer my next question, Josh, because I was going to talk about, I'm sure you're focused at the moment on those next 6 games, that block, but post-season, I suppose, the busy time starts in trying to consolidate the players you've got and maybe pick up a few recruits for next year. When will that process start, do you think?
Look, the process has started already. We've had some really, really positive conversations, with some players over the last probably 4 or 5, 6 weeks, and that'll continue. That'll, no doubt ramp up even more from sort of here on in. And, and I've said to our guys, it's a credit to, you want your footy club to be enjoyable, and although we haven't been winning games, our footy club and the culture that the boys have started to create, the word's starting to get out there to other around the footy circles, and there's players that are actually contacting us and inquiring, and and want to sit down and have conversations with us moving forward. So, as I said to the boys, that's credit to what they've been able to do and what they've been able to achieve. Although we haven't got the wins on the board, we've definitely had the little wins off the field and in regards to our culture. So, yeah, look, the hard work obviously is well and truly begun.
Josh, I couldn't let our conversation finish without talking about the state game, Tasmania versus Queensland, back on July the 1st. A magnificent win, and you played a big part in that. Personally, how much of a thrill was that to play for Tassie in that game?
Yeah, look, amazing experience. There was a lot of talk, and there has been and still is a lot of talk around, Tassie's AFL side, the stadium, whether you're for or against it, and we had a great opportunity to showcase Tassie footy, and Tassie footy cops a fair bit of flack. That it's a weak footy state. Our footy comps aren't where they should be, and I think it was a great spectacle for Tasmania and Australia. All eyes were on us, and I thought the boys did a magnificent job. We played a great brand of footy, great Tassie footy, and to get touch over 7,000 people there behind us, it was an amazing feeling and something that I'll definitely cherish for the rest of my life. It was amazing experience.
And how much of a thrill was it to play with some of those players that you're up against each week and trying to plot their downfall, but all of a sudden you're playing with an Alex Lee and a Sam Siggins, etc. How much of a thrill was that?
Oh, great, amazing. Highly respect those guys. Played a lot of footy against those guys over the years, and to be able to, you want to play with the best players in the state, and to be able to wear the map and play with those guys. Yes, we go to battle week in, week out, but as soon as we chuck that jumper on and we represent Tasmania, it's a great feeling to be able to stand side by side with those guys and playing in the biggest game of the year.
Now, Josh, I'll turn you into a commentator for the second. Who's the most impressive team you've played this year? Who do you think's favourite for the flag as we stand here now and have a chat?
Yeah, look, the Tigers have obviously got hold of us in a couple of games, and they're definitely going to be right up there. But I also think that North Lonnie, I think they're going to be right up there, and they're going to be hard to beat. Brad's got them in a good position at the moment. Can't write off Lonnie either, but I really feel North are hitting their straps, and they've been amazing this year. They've always had that great culture and the great brand of footy that they play for a number of years now, and that just continually, doesn't matter who they bring in their team, whether it's a kid or someone that's a little bit older with a bit of experience, they all know how to play their role, and they play a fantastic brand. So look, they know September, and they'll be hard to beat again.
Well, Josh, look, congratulations with what you've achieved this year with the Glenorchy Footy Club. I know, talking to a lot of people in footy circles, they're really impressed with the way you've brought Glenorchy not just back into the league, but back as a competitive force, and I'm sure you'll only get bigger and better from here. So congratulations and well done.
No worries. Thanks, boys. Thank you.
Thank you. Josh Arnold there, the coach of the Glenorchy Footy Club. Lonnie, you're back out on the ground, and so are the umpires. We'll take a short break here on City Park Radio, and we'll come back for second half action in a moment.
Community Care Tasmania is your local, not-for-profit home care service provider in Tasmania. We deliver a full range of home care services with care and empathy. Our friendly, professional and innovative staff will tailor care to your needs. Ring 6334 0990 or 1300 722 400 and speak to a local. Also, you can visit cct.org.au to find out more. At Community Care Tasmania, we put your care first. A sponsor of City Park Radio.
Being a member of City Park Radio brings you closer to our community because it's community radio, staffed by volunteers who love what they do.
It's easy to become a member and pay little for the pleasure of listening to City Park Radio for around $1 a week.
Community radio is listener subscriber radio.
Check out the subscription page on our website, cityparkradio.com, or phone us on 6334 3344.
City Park Radio.
Play your cards right this winter with new LPG deals from Elgas. From LPG account credits, fixed pricing and carbon offset options, Elgas has got you covered. Go online, www.elgas.com.au.
A sponsor of City Park Radio. You're listening to great TSL action, Tasmanian State League football on City Park Radio.
Welcome back here to Windsor Park. I'm Dave Moore, and you're listening to 103.7 and 96.5 FM City Park Radio. Our coverage of the Tasmanian State League. Half-time here, it's North Launceston 8-6-54, leading Launceston 4-3-27. We've got some of the individual stats there, Rob, thanks to Damien Donnelly and Darren Lovell from the Launceston Stats guys.
Yeah, the other stats has gone walking on the stove as we'll pad that and get that. But
there it is.
Terrific numbers. Colby McKercher, 21 possessions till half-time. Just amazing there from him. Ari Schoenmaker came into it with 15, Presner with 12. But for the Bombers and continuing his excellent form from the first quarter, Ben Simpson, their leader at 17 at half-time. So he's been very important.
Okay, just looking at some of the tackle stats here too. Launceston 42 to North Launceston 30. So Launceston getting, as it sometimes happens, a team that's behind leads the tackle stats, Max.
Yep. Yeah, they certainly are, Dave. Discrepancy there of about 12, which I thought it might have been a little bit more actually, because I've been, especially in that first quarter, they were chasing tail all the time, and so they've evened that up a little bit. The scoreboard's evened up a little bit in relation to the scoring prowess in that second quarter.
I suppose what Launceston have done, haven't they, in that second quarter, they've kept themselves in touch. 27 points, they'd want to get that back a little bit closer at three-quarter time, but they're not out of it.
Oh, geez, no. There's a lot of footy to go yet. We've still got another hour, and they'd be reasonably happy that that second quarter they decided that they could slow the ball down a bit, stop North from scoring so freely, and if it wasn't for that first blitz of 7 goals to 3, who knows? If it was more even, Launceston may have had a bit more confidence to get on top.
Okay, our bounty riders are down there. They've been to the rooms at half-time. Tony, what do you got for us?
Very interesting in the Launceston rooms. He closed outside doors to stop the people coming in. He was quite vocal about it. He was in the meeting room. I couldn't get in there, but I could sort of hear him. So he wasn't really very pleased. But when he came out and did the address out in the main dressing room afterwards, he was actually quite positive about things. He was really pleased with the way they've broken even in that quarter. He feels the clearances and the stoppages, they were pretty well even. It was 1 goal each, so I think that's sort of borne out by that. He just wants them to hold up North, cut out their free run, their transition game a fair bit, and just feels that if we can get another, say, creep a goal or 2 closer, feels that they can come home on them. So we shall see. In terms of Groenewegen, he's been carrying a hip injury for a bit. Normally he loosens up with play. He hasn't been able to do that today, which was sort of evident in the first quarter. So they'll see how he goes at some stage in this quarter. Here's Chris.
Cox Goodyear took his team behind closed doors as well, so I can't tell you much of what he said. I can't see any injuries for the north side either, so look forward to the second half.
Any breeze down there, Chris?
Very slight breeze. The sock is limp over there, so if there is a breeze, it's favouring the southern end to where North is kicking, but I'd say no wind.
Thanks to the boys here on the boundary. Okay, we're underway. Third quarter action here on City Park Radio. Rob Soward.
Alex Lee, big thump forward for the Bombers. Going to give them the first look at it. House, clever little toe to try and give his side an advantage. It's a high tackle there, affected by Lee. I'm just seeing who that is getting up from the ground, and it's Bailey Gillow relieving free kick there for Launceston. Gillow onto the trusty left leg. Nice mark. Taken on the far side of the ground there by Hyatt. Haven't called him a lot today. Blues looking to create something. The Bombers are going to come away with it. Man Shannon ducks, weaves, twists, turns. Goes back. Nice long kick there from the Bombers player. I've just lost that. Ollington, I should know that. He's been very, very busy. Back towards the centre of the ground. Driven forward there by Leary, and that's a beautiful kick. Lace out. Theo Ives. Brad Cox Goodyear, I should say.
Gee, that was an elite kick, Max Walker.
Just shows his skill set, Max, doesn't it?
Just off half a step on his left. Bang. That's pretty impressive. Been saying that for a year though now, haven't we?
No, that was very, very, very impressive.
He's one of those guys, we've talked about it on this show before. You'd love to see him get that chance at another level. Brad Cox Goodyear looking to give the Bombers the ideal start to this third term. Approaches, strikes it well. The umpire likes it till the last minute. So Bombers move on to 8-7-55. They lead Launceston 4-3-27.
Schoenmaker, long kick out from defence, tumbling punt. Almost a good mark there to Gillow in front. He lays a tackle on the follow-up. Yeah, stoppage here at half forward. So first score for the quarter to North Launceston. They lead by 28 points. Ball up. Lee taps it towards the boundary to the advantage of Leary. Picks it up this way, that away. Handballs it back to Lee. Off the splidge though, goes to Gillow, or gives it to Presnell, who's under all sorts of pressure there. And tackled by Heath Ollington. And another stoppage. Len Shue. We're now about 60 metres out from the Bombers' goal. Remembering that first quarter they scored those 7 goals out of about 10 entries. Tackle laid there by Palfreyman. So just a succession of stoppages here to start this third quarter. Really important that Launceston get that first goal or two to keep them in the contest from their point of view. As Simpson now swings towards full forward. Big pack, off hands. Chance here for Ahern. But getting back with Schoenmaker, throws it on the boot. That's Hubbard who's got it. He snaps on goal. Ethan Hubbard hits the post. 8-8-56, North Launceston. The Blues 4-3-27. Schoenmaker from defence.
Kicks and picks out his Blues teammate. Mark or a free kick, whichever way you like it there. Lockie Presnell. Just got chopped on the arms there by Manchan at the end. And Presnell. Mark or a free kick, doesn't matter. Just out from the back pocket. Goes short. Picks out Leake. I'll be looking to him to spearhead a comeback in this second half. James Leake. Terrific carnival recently for the Allies. Back towards the middle. That's not going to be what they want. Ben Simpson. Bombers captain chops it off. Moves it on quickly. Sits it up. It was in the Ahern direction, but that's a really courageous mark taken there by Leake. He moves it on quickly. Back to Presnell. Going quickly in the direction taken there by Isaac Hyatt. He's been busy early in this third term. It's not going to carry the measure. Bennett. Ball in dispute just in front of us here. Hyatt. Bombers steady. Lee. Towards Pearce. He's moved that on nicely to Manchandon. Oh, chopped off there. Was in the Coxgoodger direction. Goes the don't argue. Clever little kick forward. Umpire said that's an incorrect disposal.
Threw it on and kicked it off the throw. It was a throw, but he kicked it.
Yeah, he did.
He threw it in the air and then kicked it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's all right if you drop the ball onto your foot, but you can't throw it in the air and onto your boot.
Back in the Hyde direction. He did well there, Isaac Hyde. He had Fletcher Bennett and Alex Lee. Alex Lee almost twice his size, and great courage there from Hyde. Boundary throw, and will be a win there for the Blues. Wing position, early stages, third term.
Boundary throw in. House with the front position, tries to hold Lee at bay. Gets the hit out, but it's sharked there by Lee. Kicks to half forward. Foley nearly takes the mark. Bounces off his chest. Follow up Leak. Smart handball back to Schoenmaker. Little kick finds McKercher. Now he's got some assistance here from Jaden Hines. He goes there now. Clears him. Hubbard will get there first. Can't quite take it with him. Hubbard was felled without it. That's how the umpire sees it. Well played, Ethan Hubbard.
Well played, Hines too. Pro free kick.
45 kick now to Simpson, right in the middle of Windsor Park. Player stream forward ahead of him. He wheels and goes. Long kick, looking for a target. No one can take the mark. Little kick forward there by Griffiths. Will drift in for a behind. So that's 3 behinds now for North Launceston in this quarter. 8-9-57 to 4-3-27. Schoenmaker, low kick. It's pretty good. And right over there, that's Seth Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer, oh, he gets his kick smothered. That was good work there. I'll see the player as he gets up, and then he pushes the player over. He smothered the kick. And that was the coach in Coxgoodger. So a bit of frustration there from Seth Pfeiffer, but smart play, Coxgoodger. He's kept the ball inside attacking 50. Boundary throw in, 30 metres out. House against Lee. House does pretty well. Pearce, little kick, smothered. Pearce again, second opportunity. Smothered again. McKercher gets out towards Josh Gillow. Now to Jamison House, who'll clear it from half-back for Launceston.
That's a nice mark taken there by Lockie Presnell. Moved it on quickly. Ball's going to sit for Simpson. Trying to give the Bombers another look at it. That's off the left. Just going to bounce inside in the Leary direction. Mopped up beautifully there by Leake. Back to House. Presnell in the Schoenmaker direction. Could have been downfield, I thought. Simpson got rid of him after it went. Mark or free kick, whichever you like. Schoenmaker back towards the middle of the ground. That's probably not the option. BCG chops it off. He goes to move it on quickly inside the Ives direction. Ives at the front. Pushed under it a little bit perhaps. Good pressure around the footy. Comes away there. Jaden Hines. Back to Sam Foley. Nice long kick. Really timely fist in there from Heath Ollington. He's been terrific for the Bombers today.
Absolutely.
And, yeah, they were out there, the Blues, if that had stuck that mark, and Ollington's fist ensured we've got a boundary throw-in.
Boundary throw-in, far side of the ground. Today's broadcast brought to you by Elgas for your LPG needs statewide. Talk to the locals with knowledge. Phone 13 11 61. From the throw-in, Lee wins the hit out to Simpson, who's tackled immediately. So looking at Dave Gruber's stats here for this quarter, 5 hit-outs to 1 North Launceston's way and 5 inside 50s to 0 the Bombers' way. They've scored the 3 behinds. It's been the scoring end today down at that town end of the ground. Little handball by Hyatt. Can't find Gillow. Gillow crashes in with the tackle. It just become a bit scrappy in this third quarter. Players getting tired. So we're on centre wing. Blues slightly in attack. Down here towards Pearce, who can't take it with him. Sulzberger releases Pearce with a handball. Quick kick inside 50. Bounced off the chest there of Pfeiffer. Players fight on for possession. And we'll get another stoppage. So just quickly round the grounds in the TSL. And Lauderdale at the moment well down on Clarence. Clarence 15-14, 104. Lauderdale 6-6, 42. And the Tigers 18 points up over North Hobart. And we're going to get another stoppage. Been joined in the box, fresh back from Port Douglas by Matthew McGee. He's back here. He's after the Hawthorn score, he says.
We don't need the Hawthorn score at the moment, guys. Concentrate on the footy that you're watching.
There we go. As Lee wins the hit out. Cox Goodger, little handball over the top on the boundary line. Avent has to kick it straight away. I think he might have been out of bounds before he kicked it. He was, so a boundary throw in.
I can tell you that South Launceston beat Georgetown by 110 points today down at Blue Gum Park on the fantastic surface that they've got down there. An early game, Matthew.
I was going to say early start there.
Early start. Got the NTFAW playing afterwards.
Here's Cox Goodger. Sharks the tap out. Doesn't get an effective kick away. It's towards the goal square. Foley just gets a kick out of defence in hope more than anything. Taken out by House. Kicks under pressure here towards Mitch Nicholas. Off the ground, straight in the lap of Hyatt. Hyatt's handball's no good. Cox Goodger's tack. Gee, it's scrappy stuff now. As Canny gets at the wing, only as far as Leaflang. Leaflang handball's a little bit loose. Jake Hines lays a tackle. And nothing to write home about standard-wise in this quarter. We've reached the 9-minute mark. It's North Launceston 8-9-57, leading the Blues 4-3-27.
How quickly it's changed from that open game we saw in the first quarter, guys. Lee, clever little tap there, Ollington. Ball smothered. Ollington almost gathered the smother and kept it in, but boundary line wins out there. So we've ticked over 10 minutes. North Launceston 8-9-57, Launceston 4-3-27. From a Bombers viewpoint, there's been no damage done. Launceston really need a couple of goals here to force the issue. It's been all North so far. Ollington in some open space. If he can pick that up, which he does, moves it by hand in the Leary direction. Clever little hand pass over his head. Lots of bodies getting around the footy there. Jaden Hines trying to get it out. Bombers asking for deliberate. I'm
not sure what there. I think it.
I would have hoped that's a throw-in. Yeah.
Just having a bit of a discussion, I think, about the out of bounds and the full, Rob. We've got the binoculars on the 3 umpires having a discussion. And they've settled on a boundary throw-in.
Beautiful. Good decision, I thought. I've got no binoculars, but it looked all right to me from 7,000 metres away. But anyway, that's okay. Boundary throw-in. Bombers into attack. Lee. Simpson. Called them a lot today. Sulzberger in and under it there. Blues trying to clear it out, which they do.
McKercher.
Couple of bounces there from McKercher. Biggest possession winner on the ground. Gives, gets it back. Looks to set something up. Has 2 bounces. Approaches 50. Hits it from right on 50. Colby McKercher. Just taken on the line. I think that's Fletcher Bennett, is it? No. Lockie Mitchell. Courageous there too. He had Beaumont steaming towards him. That's a nice outlet kick in the direction of Nicholas. Nicholas for the Bombers. Back towards Avent. He moves it on quickly to Simpson. Ben Simpson loads up. Kicks to the advantage of Cox Goodger. Takes a nice mark inside the boundary line just outside 50. Bombers into attack. Cox Goodger goes to Borkround. The man on the mark. Not this time.
Josh Gillow.
That's a great tackle. Josh Gillow took his option away from him, and great tackle holding the ball. Good reward there for Gillow.
Josh Gillow, as Rob said, a really good tackle there. Cox Goodger's a bit slow to get up there. Might have copped a knock. Great mark. Mitch Nicholas flies from behind there over Deegan Madden. Takes a lovely contested mark. Spots up Connor Young, who presents with the lead. So a fair way out from goal. All the Young kicks not great. Leak got there. Up against Avent, but Avent wins the day. Back to Young. Lee can't quite tackle him, but Young kicks it inside 50 and kicks it straight to that man again, Josh Gillow. Josh Gillow, 45, kicks a nice one there to Dylan Riley. Handball's off to Foley. Good moving football here by Launceston. Up towards the half-forward flank, and it's taken by Canny. He kicks it straight away here, looking for Jones up against Nicholas. Jones tries to take it with him. Good pressure, Nicholas. Beaumont escapes the tackle. Back to Jones, who's tackled without it, surely.
Whoa.
No, play on, says the umpire. Right in front of the Launceston crowd who aren't happy. Simpson clears it out towards Sulzberger, who's met from behind, and he'll get a free kick. So, yeah, that was an interesting one. Umpire deemed that he had possession of the footy, but not sure. What do you think, Max?
Probably a missed opportunity there for the Blues.
Sulzberger up the wing. Ball from behind falls to Leary. Leary kicks blindly straight to Sam Foley, who's having a really good season across the half-back line for Launceston. Short to Jake Hines. Takes his time. Goes the sideways kick back to Foley. What can they build here? Handball off. Gillow, Josh Gillow. Kicks it to attacking 50. Sulzberger can't take it. Nicholas Smart handball to Simpson to Event. Gets out of trouble somehow. Releasing kick here towards the Ruckman Lee. Gets a good bounce. Tackled by Canny. Has support from Nicholas. Nicholas tries to get round his court. Handball of sorts back to Lee. Good work by the Launceston forward line. Hines to Canny. Hines on the boundary line. Dylan Riley, can he weave some magic? He's tackled. And it's out of bounds, I think, as well. So boundary throwing deep in attack, and I'll take a breath, Rob, because a lot happened in that last couple of minutes.
Yeah, Launceston just aren't getting the impact out of their normal impact players. We referenced Polfriman earlier. So important to them around the footy, and been smothered by this excellent Bombers defence. They've got an opportunity now, though. Lee, first hand on Sulzbergen. Nicholas, nice pick up. Quick kick forward. Blues have got the numbers around that. Ball beats everyone. Two Bombers run into each other. Ives Griffiths, I think that was, coming off worse for wear. And it's going to be a free kick there. Moved on very quickly there by Foley. That's not his best work either in the Schoenmaker direction. He loads up from right on the boundary line. Drives it long. But off hands and carries through for one behind. So they're not going to win at Launceston in behinds. 4-4-28 trailing North Launceston 9-3-57.
Pierce now from half-back. Kicks up the wing here looking for Hubbard. He's against Leake off the ground, Hubbard. And again, gets meterage for North Launceston. Close to the boundary line now. He slips over. He's in a battle now with Leake. So good battle by the two youngsters there. And eventually it's over the boundary line. The tension there from Hubbard on Leake. But we're now at left half forward for North Launceston. No goals in this quarter. And they've been playing 16 minutes. So 7 goals to 3 at quarter time. And now it's 8 goals to 4. There's just 2 goals since quarter time. Pierce now from the clearance to Young. Releasing handball to Avent. Dances around Foley. Gets it to Ahern. Ahern snaps for goal on the left. He's off to the right. 1 behind. So 4 behinds this quarter for North Launceston. 8-10-58. Leading Launceston 4-4-28. Jaden Hines, short kick out, finds Presnell at half-back.
Presnell, thought he was off. Goes back and assesses his options. Not a lot in front of him, but he's found some space there with Gillow in the middle of the ground. Bailey Gillow loads up. Riley, I should say, but that's chopped off, and that's a really nice mark taken there by Leary.
Lockie Mitchell,
sorry.
That's
Mitchell,
Leary.
that's Leary.
Prediction there.
Psychic. All psychics here today. Clever there from Ollington. Drives another inside 50 for the Bombers in the Cox Goodger direction. Thought he might have been held. Blues have got the numbers around the footy. Should clear it out, and they do. The boundary line might have won out there. Long kick forward. Just Bombers all set up across the back there. Simpson taken high, didn't get a kick. It's going to be okay and come out for them. Leafland, quick kick forward. Acres of space here for Avent. Dodges, weaves, gives by hand. Back to Griffiths. He had way more time than he thought there, Harvey Griffiths, and he sprayed that across the behind. We've had a goal this quarter, and we're just approaching 18 minutes, Dave Moore.
Absolutely. Chris Sayer, how dark is it down there?
It is getting quite dark, and I reckon the lights will be on by the last quarter.
James Leake, long kick out. That's a fine mark to his fellow Devil there in Tom Beaumont. Or is it Liam Jones? I think it's Liam Jones. They were Devils teammates in the past. Now Hyatt. Back to Jones. Jones sideways kicky, looking for Jaden Hines. Can't quite rein in the mark, and that'll spill out of bounds before Hines can recover the ball. So City Park Radio, no game to cover next week in the north of the state. We're here in 2 weeks' time, Launceston versus Clarence. That'll be third versus fourth, with Clarence having a commanding lead today over Lauderdale. So Clarence had a few injuries through the year, so they might be just starting to get their best team back. Be a really close contest, that one, in a couple of weeks. Here's Avent now, escapes from the contest, goes back in, is confronted. So little right foot kicks a beauty to Pearce to get himself out of trouble. Pearce spots up Cox Goodjar. Gee, that's a great mark. The umpire pays it. That was a tough one, right on his bootlaces. Probably too far out to score from the standing start. He might try and get round the man on the mark. He's about 60 out now. He spots up a lead, Connor Young. This will test him, though. He's right against the boundary line, Max.
He is, but it was just poor checking. There was plenty of time there for Launceston to either fill the gap or, go 1-to-1, but they just elected to sort of zone off, expecting Cox Goodyer just to thump at 60 metres, as we probably all expected, but ran into the space, made it look pretty easy, Connor Young then.
Connor Young from the boundary line. Keeps it low towards goal. That's not bad. It's a mark in the square, I think it is. And the man getting up there is Seth Pfeiffer. Right on the line, saving the goal. Goes short to Foley, who takes a mark in the back pocket.
Foley. Bombers set up well here. Trying to lock this ball in. You go long down the line in the Lee direction. Just thumps it. And that's off Jaden Hines' hands. No damage from a Bombers viewpoint. We're approaching 20 minutes. Launceston 4-4-28. North Launceston 8-11-59. So no goals this quarter, Dave Moore.
Yes, Dave Gruber's stats. Launceston 4 inside 50s to North Launceston 11 in this quarter. So the Bombers had plenty of chances.
Blues looking to create something. Hyde, clever little hand pass. Back to House in the centre square. He's just kicked to open space. And that's Presnell leading in the race for the ball. Quick kick forward from him. Bombers have got the numbers here, though, in front of Beaumont. They've got time to steady. A bit more time than they think, I think. It's okay. They'll come away with it. Bombers. Back, mark taken on the wing position there. And that's a nice mark taken there. Little chip forward. Ives. All the time in the world, the Bombers, with that handy lead they've got. Players fly. Blues are going to look to rebound here. Ball comes out. Lots of bodies around the footy. Tired bodies too after that hectic start we had. The umpire says that's mine. And 21 minutes gone. Not going to be an overly long quarter this, with no goal scored, believe it or not, at this stage.
Ball up, far side. Ives with the hit out. Ollington smashes into the contest. He's caught, and umpire McEntee comes in to ball it up.
Just wondering, the scoring's really dried up after that first quarter, and we had that 10 or 12 mils or whatever you said, Dave, Thursday. Yep. Just wondering how much effect it's got on the players. Are the legs that heavy? We've seen a lot slip and slide over this side of the ground, so it may just be a fair bit heavier than what we can see.
Theo Eyes gets it forward, and Connor Young, nearly could have been paid that mark, but he hasn't got a time to get a handball out. Got his fingertips to it, brought it to ground, but just escaped his clutch.
They've just lost their zip too on both sides.
Yep.
You know, the whole tempo of the game's just gone backwards probably 20% since that first quarter.
Alex Lee gets the tap out towards the boundary line. Sam Foley takes his tackle by Cox Goodger. Tackled high, says the umpire. So Sam Foley, one of the best today for the Blues back there. He's going to switch it. Gets it back from Gillow, Josh Gillow. Long kick here looking for Schoenmaker, who marks up against Ahern. Schoenmaker taking his time. Urry is the call. Kicks up here looking for Jones, who takes a great mark. Liam Jones. What a fly that was. Over the top, takes a great mark. Now with the handball to McKercher. Back to Jones. McKercher wants it back again. Oh, it's a good tackle by Leary. Jones just gets it away. Now the turnover. Roney spots up Pearce. Has a lot of time to sum up his options. He goes long in a one-on-one. Lee down the forward line. The big fella. Oh, he's got his shoulder. He's hurt his shoulder in that contest. We'll get back to that in a moment. As Schoenmaker now. Little kick to Connell McCormack. 45 kick to Leak, but Lee is in a lot of pain back there. Leak switches it to Jaden Hines. Jaden Hines looking for Tyrrell on the wing, who takes a mark, gets a bit of attention from Avent. Takes a mark safely. Over the top, McKercher. Yeah, can he use his pace here? Gets away from Cox Goodger. Kicks inside 50, not a great kick. Ollington. Handball over the top here to Mitchell. That's Lockie Mitchell. To Jackie Avent. Back to Cox Goodger. The veterans combine, switches it to Ives at half-back. Yes, he takes the mark or the free kick.
We've just got half an eye on Lee there in back play, and he's not travelling real well, Dave. Ives with the free kick, moves it on quickly by hand. It's going to be okay for the Bombers. Nice kick out here towards us in the direction of Oscar Mansell. He plays on quickly, back towards where Alex Lee was injured. Manchandon butters up beautifully. Shot towards goal! Will Manchandon, believe it or not, scores the first goal of this third term at the 24-minute mark. That's going to take North Launceston on a 9-11-65. Launceston 4-4-28. Maxie Walker.
We talk about being the first goal. That's 1 goal 5 for them in this quarter, which is a couple of those been rushed and unavoidable, but be disappointed with the scoring in this quarter, Cox Goodyer, and see Alex Lee still staying out there, is he?
Yeah, I hope he gets the old stinger, but usually when you get arm chopped in those contests, it's not a great sign.
No, not when you've got both shoulders strapped up to start with, but if there's any doubt, I reckon they'll say just sit here for the rest of the game. We'll try and do it without you. But good finish then by Will Manchandon. Always knows his limitations, Will. Just knows what he can and what he can't do.
Theo Ives wins the hit out to Avent, but the three-quarter time siren sounds here. Now, three-quarter time, as Max said, it's 1 goal 5 in that quarter to North Launceston. They move along to 9-11-65. Just the one behind in that quarter to Launceston. They're 4-4-28. So I suppose even though Northern Bombers didn't hit the scoreboard as far as goals are concerned, they've limited Launceston to 1 behind and just the 5 inside 50s for that quarter.
5, is that all there was? Yeah, and North would have peppered away a bit more than that as well, I would have thought.
Yes, 14 played 5,
I was going to say they were probably lucky that they couldn't convert those opportunities, and fair few of them were shallow. They were just making the 50-metre mark, but inside 50s. So scoreboard-wise, coach should be extremely happy. The Mitch Thorpe, Cox Goodger, not so happy, I wouldn't have thought, with the 1 goal 5. So yeah, it's still an interesting game. I still believe it can go either way here. Like they kick 3 or 4, even just one every 3 or 4 minutes, every 5 minutes, the Blues, and they're slowly just chipping into that lead. They're getting a lot of run off their half-back line through Schoenmaker, through Foley. I think it's probably one of the better senior games I've seen him play. He's doing really well. Colby McKercher's doing well. Presnell's doing well on the wing. So they've got some winners around the ground, but there's just not enough consistency amongst everyone else. Got a lot of people down for the day. Not quite sure what the stats are for for Jake Hines, which had one of his quieter days. Admittedly, he was injured after that state game, so he's probably still not 100% fit. But yeah, they've got to grow something real quickly here for the Blues to pull this one off.
Well,
goal kickers, Rob.
Yeah, as we go through the goal kickers, there's not much to add to half time. So for the Bombers, Cox, Goodger, Leary and Griffiths with 2 each. Connie Young, Theo Ives, and the only goal scorer for that quarter, Willman Shandon. All singles, those guys. And for Launceston, all singles, Liam Jones, Dylan Riley, Ari Schoenmaker and Lockie Presnell.
And Dave Gruber's stats to three-quarter time. Hit-outs, North Launceston 50-11, 16-2 in that quarter. Clearances 34 to North Launceston, 8 to Launceston. A big disparity there. Inside 50s, 38 to North Launceston, 19 to the Blues. 14-5, as I mentioned, that quarter. Marks inside 50, North Launceston 8 to 4 for Launceston. Free kicks, 15 to the Blues, 14 to the Bombers. And intercept marks, 13 to Launceston and 9 to North Launceston. Very quickly, Rob, because we've got to get you a break. You've got the individual stats there?
Yeah, McKercher continues on his merry way, leading all comers with 29. But interestingly for the Bombers, Ben Simpson with 26. So they'll be wrapped with that.
Thanks to Rob. We'll take a quick break here on City Park Radio. When we come back, we'll have the boys from the Boundary for their three-quarter time report.
Play your cards right this winter with new LPG deals from Elgas. Whether you're moving in or you're settled in, make the switch online today. From LPG account credits, fixed pricing and carbon offset options, Elgas has got you covered. Don't lose out this winter. Visit the website, choose your new deal and sign up today. Go online, www.elgas.com.au. Elgas, local, safe and reliable.
A sponsor of City Park Radio.
I've been watching the decluttering TV shows and I've been inspired and motivated. My first task was to sort out old jewellery boxes from my mum, Auntie Jean and my own collection. Single gold earrings, broken and outdated gold jewellery. It's amazing how much I found. I took the lot to cash converters, received a very tidy amount of cash, and now I'm off to enjoy a nice little break with the proceeds.
Right now, cash converters are paying top prices for gold. So cash in your unwanted jewellery today. Cash Converters, Kings Meadows. Trusted and locally owned for 25 years. A proud sponsor of City Park Radio.
City Park Radio relies on its members, volunteers and local business to maintain the programs you enjoy. And you can support them and the wide variety of programs by making a donation to the station. It's so easy for you to donate. Just head to our website, cityparkradio.com, on your PC or smart device and click the donate button. Anything over $2 is tax deductible and you'll receive your receipt immediately by email. Donate now to City Park Radio.
This sports broadcast is brought to you by Elgas. For all your LPG needs, talk to the locals with knowledge. Elgas, call 13 11 61, a sponsor of City Park Radio.
At Windsor Park, it's North Launceston 9-11-65, leading Launceston 4-4-28. Around the grounds in the TSL, last score I've got here from Bell Reeve, it was Clarence 15-15-105, Lauderdale 7-9-51. And at North Hobart, Tigers getting away now, 10-9-69, leading North Hobart 6-2-38. Just some more individual stats here, thanks to the boys Damien Donnelly and Darren Lovell. As Rob said before the break, McKercher 29 possessions, 20 kicks and 9 handballs. Schoenmaker 23 possessions, 22 kicks and 1 handball, so just a 1 handball for Ari Schoenmaker. Sam Foley having a great game, 11 possessions in that quarter. He's up now to 22, and Lockie at 12 handballs. Both huddles now have broken up, and we might get down now to Chris Sayer. What do you got for us, Chris?
Yes, Brad. Cox Goodyear addressed his players, is quite happy, of course, talking about not going too quick as well, just hanging back a little bit to make sure of the kick. The first thing he said to his players was, funny quarter, wasn't it? Which I thought was quite funny. So, yes, they're quite confident for this quarter, but they're still going to play out every minute. Here's Tony.
Mitch wasn't really happy with the way the forwards played that quarter. He felt they were pretty lazy, to be honest. Weren't creating the space in the right place and doing silly turnovers around about the 50-metre mark. You'll notice that James Leake has gone to full forward for this quarter. They feel they can still hit their 6 goals. He says since about the 15-minute mark of the first quarter, they've broken even or in front on clearances. And, around the ground, they still think they're a chance.
No worries. Pretty dark and cold down there, Tone?
It's getting cold, yeah, I'd say that. They haven't turned the lights on yet, though.
Fair enough. Today's broadcast brought to you by Elgas for your LPG needs statewide. Talk to the locals knowledge phone 13 11 61. Underway last quarter action. Rob Stewart. Rob Soward.
Yeah,
God, I'm
was
losing
about
it.
to burst into song there, Dave.
As long as you don't start singing if you think I'm sexy. Gee.
Just look, everyone will be turning off the radio. Anyway, enough jokes. Jokes aside, Blues are away. They've got an inside 50, and that's a fantastic mark taken there by James Leake.
Well, the move's worked already, Max.
Yeah, the boys talked about it, didn't they?
Very smart move, and we've seen him, what was it, the Allies, wasn't it, and the Devils, and some Pats and everywhere else he's gone forward this year and changed the game, so this might be the move that kick-starts the Blues.
We'll see what happens. He's on a fair angle. Moves in, kicks from about 45, never looked like it, missed the lot. So, anyway, a great mark, and they'll be looking for more of that. Bombers bring it back in. They've got plenty of work to do, Launceston. They're set themselves a fair target here. That ball's just gone outside, just carried over the boundary line there. So, all in front of them, Launceston. But you get the feeling that they're going to need a couple of early goals, Dave Moore.
Absolutely. And the boundary throw in the gloom on the far side of the ground. And we've got Deegan Madden and Theo Ives. So we might get a report, if we can, from the boys about Alex Lee, to how he's looking early in this quarter. Max Roney wrestles with the ball with his fellow Tassie Devils player and Colby McKercher. Another ball up. I'll look over the bench there now, and Alex Lee is sitting there. No ice on the shoulder, but he might sit out this quarter, as you suggested, Max. Max Roney, little kick away. Jaden Hines is tackled, releases the ball. Follow-up tackle is high on the Launceston player. That's Ryan Tyrrell, right in front of our boundary riders there. Get a good view of that one. Ryan Tyrrell. Kicks it up the wing. Fly from behind there from Leaf Lang, laying the spoil. Sees it out of bounds. So the Blues just a 1 goal since quarter time. North Launceston with 2. It's been a dour struggle. No rain as yet. Let's hope it holds out till the end of this contest. From the boundary throw in. Now it's a free kick. It's going to be paid to Deegan Madden against Theo Ives. So the youngster, first year at the Blues this year, plays on. Puts himself under pressure. Smothered there from Ives. Then he takes the ball himself. Handball to Leary. Leary can't escape. He gets held without it. It's how the umpire sees it. Jaden Hines had the hand on the jumper. So Leary now. Excitement machine. He goes sideways to a 2-on-1 contest. Nearly a mark there to Hubbard. That was Griffiths. Kick not effective. Taken by Tyrrell. Handball away now to McKercher. The little kick's good. And he finds Presnell in the middle of the ground. Presnell now. Left foot kick is a beauty. Finds Hines right on 50. And maybe just within range. So Chris Sayer has got some news on Alex Lee, but we'll just wait for a moment. As we're right behind this shot for goal here from Jake Hines. Kicking to the tan end of the ground. He ignores the lead there from McKercher. Now he wheels and goes from 50. Jake Hines delivers a beautiful goal for Launceston. He knew what he was doing. He took the advantage of the stand rule and launched it straight at the big sticks. And he kicks a valuable goal for Launceston. 5-4-34. North Launceston 9-11-65. We'll get to Max in a moment, but first to Chris Sayer.
Yeah, that was a great goal from ground level, tell you what. Alex Lee is back on the ground. He started the quarter on the bench, but at three-quarter time, he was moving both his arms. He came off with his left shoulder. Both his shoulders are strapped, but he's back on the ground.
Thanks, Chris. I'll tell you what, Lockie Presnell is a much improved player, Max. That kick that set up that goal for Hines was a beauty.
Yeah, it was an absolute ripper, and he's certainly been one of their better contributors today, I thought. And just the poise in about 8 or 9, 10 senior games, he's maturing into a fair player for them.
Ball bounce around the middle. Madden, quick kick forward. Lots of tired bodies around the footy. Bombers are going to come away with it. A little quick kick forward there from Avent. Gone over Pearce's head. Clever Pearce taps it in front of him once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Oh, pick it up, Nathan. Gives it off to Griffiths. Quick kick forward in the Ives direction. Punched away from him. Blues will be looking to clear this out, which they do. Back this way towards us. Jaden Hines had his name all over that. Plenty of courage. Little chip forward. It's going to be okay. Blues are trying to set something up and create here in the direction of Leake. He moves it on quickly. It's going to be fortuitous, I think, for Launceston, although no. Lee Flang steadies, calm, back towards the middle, picks Griffiths out. Nice mark, Harvey Griffiths. He's been busy today. Moves the ball sideways. It's going to be okay for him. Into the Ben Simpson direction. One of the best for the Bombers today. He loads up and drives it inside 50. Launceston can't afford to give up a score, and that's a great mark taken there by Josh Gillow.
He's been really good today, Rob. Really impressive. Josh Gillow, short now to Ship. He doesn't often get a lot of possession, Josh Gillow. As I said, he's number 1 for spoils in the competition. But he's taken some nice marks today. Been really effective there in defensive 50 for the Blues. Now Jaden Hines. Over the top, finds Foley. Gets the overlap now. They can work it ahead of the Blues. Back to Foley. They can launch an attack here towards half forward. Leake will fly from well behind. Gets the spoil away on the follow-up. Taken by Hyatt. His kick smothered from the ricochet. Away they come now through Mitchell. Back to Nicholas. Now to Fletcher Bennett. He's under pressure. They might turn it over here. No, it's back to Bennett. Calm play. Gets it to Ollington. Back to Bennett under pressure. Now Van Dam. Oscar Van Dam. Had it a long time. Got the handball away, and the player held up there is Man Shandon. So they did all right there, the half-back line of North Launceston.
Composure's been terrific, hasn't it, Dave?
They without also Harry Bales and Declan Jug across there too. 2 big outs for them at the moment, but they've found some real good replacements. Connor McCormack now gets the handball away, ends up with Palfreyman. Over the top to Hyatt. Can he get a good bounce? He gets around on the left foot. Gee, that's not a bad kick from Hyatt. He's found a teammate in Hines. He might have got a shove, he did. Jake Hines will line up for the second this quarter. The offending player there was the number 6 for North Launceston in Lockie Mitchell. So Hines is a tougher shot, but he knows these pockets of Windsor Park pretty well over the years.
Can make the tough ones look relatively easy though, David.
And this will get the margin back to 25. Still got a fair bit of time left in the game. Jake Hines for 2 in a row. 10 metres in from the boundary, left-hand side. In he comes. Chips it towards goal. And misses left. They really needed that one, the Blues. 5-5-35 to 9-11-65. As Van Dam brings it out from defence and gets it to Roney.
Roney, little kick forward. It's found the target. Griffiths. Halves the call. Griffiths is told to move it on. Kicks to a pack. Leary goes under it. Blues win possession. Diving mark taken there. Gillow. Bailey Gillow. Unintentional, I think. He sort of went to turn his opponent there, and Bailey Mitchell collected him on the way through. Straightened himself up. He's okay. Bailey Gillow. Umpire says to move it on. He just chips it in the McKercher direction. Boundary line's going to win that one. McKercher sees it over. So approaching 9 minutes gone. The Blues 5-5-35 trailing North 9-11-65. So time left, but you just get the feeling they're going to need to score a couple real quick to get that bit of pressure on the Bombers, who are holding up well across the back line at the moment. Lee got his first hand on it. Lots of Blues around the footy. McKercher, clever kick from McKercher. Back Presnell, I think that was. Took a really nice mark there just inside 50. It's been a nice battle today, Presnell and Ollington. Both had a fair bit of it. Ollington very, very good early, and Presnell that big third quarter. So, most important kick of the day he's going to have had, and he really needs to convert this. Runs around. Ordinary looking kick off the boot, like a wounded duck, that one. She, not that beautiful action that we like to see. We're not going to win it with behinds, Dave Moore.
No, they're not, Rob, and they're now trailed by 29 points. Give you the final score at Belrive in a moment. Off hands. They escape from defence, North Launceston. Hubbard gets it over to Lee, back to Hubbard. Now to Leary, will be under pressure. Delivers a handball on the bounce here to Sulzberger. He can't quite pick it up. Bailey Gillow with the pressure. Sulzberger again. Oh, well picked up there by Sulzberger, but he was immediately under pressure, and now he's caught holding the ball. Tackle there from Seth Pfeiffer. Yes, at Belrive, it was the Roos by 55 points over Lauderdale, and that probably ends the Southern Bombers' hopes for the finals. Seth Pfeiffer sets up close to the boundary line, looking there for Hines, who nearly takes it. He's in a wrestle there with Lockie Mitchell. Now he's in a wrestle with Max Roney.
It's a kick against Hines then. He just drove his head into the ground. Not really necessary when you're 5 goals behind trying to kick a winning score.
Right in front of the North Lonnie supporters. Lockie Mitchell gets it back now to Van Dam. They can switch here through Nicholas. Nicholas takes it. Has to hold it up. Sums up what to do next. Then he goes sideways back from whence it came to Fletcher Bennett. He's right on defensive 50. Getting dark here at Windsor. Fletcher Bennett up here looking for Lee, whose shoulder injury looks okay at the moment as he takes the mark. Couple of grabs. Telegraphs the handball, then gives it to Mitchell. Lockie Mitchell to half forward. Pearce can't take the mark. Gets the handball sideways. That's O'Hearn. Now to Ives. Ives kicks it to the goal square. Leary almost took the mark. There's Riley, who kicks it off the ground towards the goal square, and Josh Gillow sees it through. So one behind, and that's North Launceston's first score for the quarter, as a matter of fact. It's 12 minutes in. 9-12-66, they lead Launceston 5-6-36. Here's Rob Soward.
Riley in an unfamiliar position there in the back pocket. Goes out to Josh Gillow. Balks around his opponent, goes back to Riley. Riley gives it off by hand. That's going to be all right for him to Tom Beaumont. Beaumont, a long kick to the wing position. Great mark. Far side of the ground taken there by Liam Jones. Sparking something here for the Blues. It's going to be an inside 50, but the boundary line will win that one. So certainly some pleasing signs for Launceston in the last few minutes.
Well, if you look at the margin, Rob, it was 27 points at quarter time, and as we speak, it's 30 points. So it's really been a pretty even contest since that quarter time, or that first quarter blitz by North Launceston.
Yeah, and if you turned up after that, you'd think, what's going on? But anyway, Launceston still have time. Lee. Bombers look to clear it out. Far side of the ground. Polfriman scrambles. Another inside 50 coming here for Launceston. Bombers have got the numbers around it. Doesn't sit for the Blues. Good pressure.
I'm liking the game of Lockie Mitchell, Max. He's one that is really an improved player.
Yep, and making it fairly hard for the Chugs and Bales as well. Like, he's been in and out of the team for a couple of years now, Lockie Mitchell, and he's strung 3 or 4 good ones together now.
I think Lee's gone down, Rob.
Yeah, he's. I didn't see what happened there. There were lots of bodies around the footy.
He is not getting up. Umpire calls play to a halt, and he's now getting up very slowly.
Favouring that shoulder still.
Not sure if it was a shoulder that time or. It's up and about now. Ball up. Chance here for the Blues. Hines. Oh, gee, could be probably launch for goal himself there, but he gave the handball to Canny, who's under all sorts of pressure, and Hines knows that too. He was certainly clearer than what Canny was. Up it goes. Lee with a tap out towards Simpson. Oscar Mansell's in there. And a lot of players around the contest. We're about 20 metres out from Launceston's goal.
I'd be taking Alex Lee off. As, they've got to double their score to win the game, Launceston, and like 10 or 15 minutes to go. Just give him a spell, put him on ice. He's done enough today, I think, to get even a few votes maybe.
Ben Simpson gets it out here towards Griffiths.
He's telegraphed that, Dave.
Yeah, he has. He's got Cox Goodyear on, who can't quite take the second grab mark. On the ground now, and Josh Gillow now. How does the umpire read that? Josh Gillow disguised it pretty well. So it'll be a boundary throw in. So another low scoring quarter. Just had the one goal in this quarter, and since quarter time it's been 2 goals apiece. Now Palfreyman kicks wide here. Presnell, can he get there first? He's up against the runner there and almost lays a shepherd. Here's Presnell, gets around Ollington, heavily disguised as a Hearn. Presnell kicks towards the goal square. Oh, that's a good mark in front to Connor Leaflang. Gets the applause there of the North supporters in front of us. It's another good game, Connor Leaflang. He goes short to the pocket. That looks like Oscar Mansell back there. He's going to go back here to Van Dam. Van Dam sets the kick up, sets a task there for Roney, who meets that challenge. Under pressure from Gillow. Still in side defensive 50 is Max Roney. Kicks up the wing. Madden with the big thump away. Falls out to Pearce, he can't pick it up. Pearce goes to ground, he picks it up, gets the handball away. They've got the numbers here, can they work it out? Jakovate's got it. Hits up Cox Goodger, and you hear the ball slap into the palms there of Brad Cox Goodger. 70 metres out from goal. Been playing 16 minutes, so probably only about another 6 or 7 minutes with this low-scoring encounter. Cox Goodger now sets it up for the Flyers. Here they go, front position. Schoenmaker couldn't quite take the mark, and now it's going to be a ball up 40 metres out. Northern Bombers into attack. The stats for Dave Grube inside 50s this quarter, 7-4 the Blues way. Here's Rob Soward.
All to do for Launceston. The time clock is starting to become the winner and their enemy. Umpire will ball that up again. Inside the Bombers 50. Cox Goodyer into the ruck. Gillow. Almost a mark there to Hyde. Gives it off quickly. Oh, that's going Josh Gillow. Hit high there. And the umpires picked out that free kick. Looking at his options. Lots of Bombers flooding back. Umpires called him to play on. He switched the play. Pushed to the far side of the ground. It's taken there by Seth Pfeiffer. Oh, risky. Ahern's picked that one off. Oh, beautiful play from Ahern. Moves it back in quickly. Cox Goodger. Brad Cox Goodger! Oh, just offline. So, Bombers, as I said, the time clock, their friend now, Dave Moore.
Yep, and just almost a misty shower coming across Windsor Park from the west.
Not good for my washing at home on the line.
The kick from Schoenmaker's no good. Straight to Jack Avent, probably outside his range. Usually a good delivery of the ball is Schoenmaker, but then occasion the short kick fell off the side of the boot, fell in the lap here of the North Launceston veteran Jack Avent. Leary cruises by. He's still free, Leary. Colin McCormack keeping an eye on him. But Avent now settles for a shot. For their first goal of the quarter, Jackie Avent kicks towards goal. It's going to fall short. Flyers wanted. It's off hands of Ahern and through for another behind. 9-14-68. So they kick 1 goal 8 in this second half. Schoenmaker this time. Long to the far side. Go there for Foley, but I tell you what, that's a good mark by Oscar Van Dam. Young Devils player. Back for the Blues today. Van Dam now. Kicks to the hot spot. Gillow there in the front position. Falls to the back. Schoenmaker. Little handball away to McCormack. Smart kick towards the boundary line. The advantage of McKercher. Canny thinks about getting it back to McKercher. Takes it himself. Kicks up the wing.
All needs to go right for the Blues now. Taken by Hyatt. He's away. Nice kick forward. Beautiful, beautiful mark taken there by Leake. What's he going to do? Long kick inside 50. Bombers players drifting back. Big contest there. Just out from goal. Palfreyman round his body and misses. So just not going right for Launceston at the moment. We've just approaching 20 minutes gone, 5-7-37, trailing North Launceston 9-14-68. So, as Dave Moore said, you get the feeling it's not going to be a long quarter.
Absolutely. I've got some drizzle down there, boys.
Yes, it is just started to rain, just a little bit, so that'll be interesting, see how it goes. No lights yet, though.
No lights. And here's Oscar Van Dam with it at half-back for the Bombers. Switches play to the far side. Finds Ives, who's drifted up. Took a beautiful mark in the second quarter. One for the highlights reel. Goes backwards, back to Van Dam. Starting to get a fair bit of the footy in this last quarter. Playing a good game for the Bombers. Now to Connor Young, who's drifted back as well. To Roney, who's made space at half-back. Playing possession footy. His kick to the advantage of Pearce goes too far. So clears the head of Pearce, and it's marked there by Ship. Sideways kick to McKercher. He's had a lot of possessions today, just drifted out a little bit in this last quarter. Kiki looking for Canny. Getting into the contest there, it's Griffiths. Knocks it towards Cox-Goodger, who gets it to Connor Young. His kick's a shocker, straight on the chest of Showmaker, who gets paid the mark. I'm not sure why, because he really didn't hold that. He's got on centre wing. Finds McKercher. McKercher with a big switch over here to Jaden Hines, will mark it at half-back.
Hines with it all to do. Picks out Presnell.
Yep.
Presnell, Foley. Little increments here. Foley's going to load up though and drive it deep inside 50. Big pack of players. Blues need just some amazing luck here, but it's not going to happen. Taken away there by the Bombers. And that's a great mark taken just inside the boundary line, I think. Fletcher Bennett. He goes back inboard and finds Brandon Leary. Don't usually see him back there. But, in the dying stages of this one, Ben Simpson amongst the Bombers' best today. Just a little chip kick forward from Simpson, taken there by Avent. They've got time on their side, the Bombers. Not going to be much longer to play here, I wouldn't think. Big long kick there from Avent in the Ives direction. Ball's going to carry off hands. We're going to have a boundary throw in about 60 metres around from the Northern Bombers goal. 22 minutes gone. Launceston 5-7-37. North Launceston 9-14-68.
Only about a minute or two left in this contest. So Blues will probably be disappointed. They're not closer. Would have liked to have won today, of course, but this will be a 2-1 record now for North Launceston throughout the season. They lost the first one narrowly under lights in round one. As it's kicked by Ollington. All the Bombers players are at the back of the contest. Nearly a mark there to Schoenmaker. Back to Ship, who's tackled high by Griffiths. Will get a free kick. So switch by Ship, now to Schoenmaker. Onwards now to Connell McCormack. Had the handball option in McKercher, decides to go back. Short kick to Schoenmaker. Barely 15. Umpire pays it.
It's barely 15, but it's barely worth it. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. The handball to McKercher would have been the better option, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Spearing kick finds House. House in the darkness here at Windsor Park finds Leake at half forward. James Leake plays on straight away. Has a spare player in Hyatt, who marks 50 out. He's going to get back quickly. Isaac Hyatt, little chip kick to a lead. Out here towards Riley. It gets around. Left foot snap, Dylan Riley. He's off to the left for a behind. 5-8-38 to 9-14-68. So 1 goal, 4 in this quarter for Launceston. 3 behinds for North Launceston. Mitch Nicholas with kick-out duties. Spearing pass over the head though of Pearce. Chance again for Launceston. Here's Canny. He gets tackled with it. It's held up in the contest. It'll be a ball up, far side. So City Park Radio Sport here for round 17 action. Launceston versus Clarence. As the siren sounds, the car horns are blaring as North Launceston, 11 in a row now in the TSL, magnificent performance. And they take out the game 9-14-68 to 5-8-38. So commanding performance there by the Bombers. Never really in trouble after that early blitz. Goal kickers, Rob Soward.
Again, the Richie Benos, Brad Cox, Goodger, Brandon Leary, Harvey Griffiths, all with 2 singles to Connie Young, Theo Ives and Will Manshandon. For Launceston, all singles today. Jake Hines, Liam Jones, Dylan Riley, Ari Schoenmaker and Lockie Presnell.
Okay, 5-goal win there to the Bombers. There's watching Chris Sayer striding out there. He'll try and capture one of the Northern Bombers players for a word. Just repeating those other scores in the TSL. It was Clarence 17-16, 118, defeated Lauderdale 9-9-63. And at North Hobart, it's a big lead now to the Tigers, 11-15, 81 to 7-3, 45. So Chris is hovering there at the back, trying to get somebody. I won't throw to you, Max, because as soon as I do, he will get somebody. And I think he's down there now with Alex Lee. His hands in the air. So, Chris, down to you.
Yes, I'm with Alex Lee here. We almost need a flashlight down here to have a chat. Your thoughts on that game, Alex?
Yeah, no, it was a bit of ping-pong footy, that. Other than the first quarter, it was, backwards and forwards footy all day. A lot of running. Bloody hard work.
Do you think the ground had a lot to do with that, the heavy ground?
Oh, not really. I think it's just the way both teams came out to play. It's very contested game, but yeah.
After quarter time, the game was very even, wasn't it? So that really, first quarter.
Kind of went goal for goal there. We kicked a couple of goals, they kicked a couple of goals, but yeah, a lot of running for not a lot of reward.
And Heath Ollington plays so well today.
Yeah. Shows why he's in the Allies and he's getting every opportunity he has. He's a real workhorse and deserves everything he gets.
Seeing these young Allies play for both sides today was a real bonus, wasn't it?
It definitely was. I think it lifted the standard of the game a bit. Lonnie used them a fair bit to the run and release a fair bit, so definitely helped them. But yeah, bonus for us to have our boys as well. Lets us gel a fair bit.
How are you feeling? Both shoulders? You had a bit of trouble with your shoulder?
Had trouble with shoulders the whole career, but one of them's just been a bit dicky this year, so it's all right now. So just take it game by game and do what I have to get through.
Speaking of that, next week Clarence down south, a big game for both teams.
Yeah, it'll be interesting what the weather's doing after last time down there, but I'm not sure of the results today, but definitely be a good contest.
Yeah, I think Clarence won today too, so.
Yeah, well.
There you go. All right, well, good luck for the rest of the year. Thanks for the chat, and good to chat. Thank you. So that was Alex Lee. Just want to make one comment for you boys up there. In today's Examiner, the editorial was written by Janie Finlay, of course, state politician. She talked about the demise of the TSL, and which will be at the end of next season, and she talked about how it's going to be detrimental to both of the northern clubs, which of course are the two clubs that played here today. Of course, it's an opinion piece, but it's an interesting read. And I think both teams, are sort of foes today, but they're both going to be allies at the end of next year. Yeah, so interesting times, and of course the discussions are occurring with the reshaping of footy in all across the state into to 3 different regional competitions. Gee, it's getting close there at the MCG, Rob.
Dave Gruber, I think, has got no fingernails left. The Tigers from the clouds and behind 90 to 95, 27 minutes gone.
Oh, gee.
So
1 minute 36 to go.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll keep doing some stats here just while you guys can see that. Max, hope you've mapped out your 3-2-1 in all the excitement.
I haven't even thought about it, Dave.
Oh, you've only got about 90 seconds to think about it.
Righto.
Okay, let's look at the stats. Thanks to Dave Gruber. The team stats here at Windsor Park. Launceston... North Launceston won the hit-outs quite convincingly, 58-14 over the day, 8-3 in the last quarter. Clearances, 39-14. Interesting, in the last quarter, the Blues won that stat 6-5, so they definitely improved around the contest there in that last stanza of play. Inside 50s, North Launceston 45 to Launceston at 29. Marks inside 50s, 9 to the Blues, 7 to Launceston. The Blues had 3 marks to 1 inside 50 in the last quarter. Free kicks, 23 to Launceston, 17 to North Launceston. And intercept marks, Launceston 14 to North Launceston 12. And
game over at the G. Thank you for coming.
Oh, my goodness. What happened?
Well, we won. Well, not quite. There's still a couple of seconds to go.
Okay.
But we're in front by a point.
Oh, dear. That's a dramatic turnaround there. The game statistics. Just trying to find the last quarter statistics here.
You've lost your commentary team here at the moment. We're watching the Tigers.
Here they are. You're hoarding them over here while you're watching the AFL. So the stats today, that the Chiefs' possession winner on the ground for Launceston was Corey McKercher with 34. And he had 24 kicks and 10 handballs over the day. I'm turning your mics off, guys, just while you can celebrate in a moment. Ari Schumacher, 29 disposals, 27 kicks and 2 handballs. Lockie Presnell, 27, 17 and 10. Sam Foley, 26 possessions. James Leake with 20. And for the Northern Bombers, great game from Ben Simpson with the 29 possessions. Also, Heath Ollington had a fair bit of it over the day as well. Okay, the final score here, 9-14-68. Defeated Launceston 5-8-38. Max, your thoughts? Hold on, I've turned your microphone off because you were concentrating elsewhere.
Yeah, my thoughts. I think we're a big chance at the G, but here locally. Yeah, look, after quarter time, to be honest, wasn't much of a spectacle. The first quarter was great footy from both sides, but going through the who I thought the major contributors were, McKercher did really well, just 4 consistent quarters. He'd probably be a little bit disappointed with some of his disposals, but the fact is he's still got 30 plus and makes it pretty easy there. Marlon Pickett's just got the ball, so we're slowing the game down and she's all over Nelly. Sorry. Thought Liam James was good early. Showan Maker was good, but as a backman, and he kicks out, North had 14 points as well, so the 30 touches he gets, half of them are give-me's as well, so that's very hard to judge the value of those these days. I don't necessarily agree with them. Thought Josh Gillow was okay, played on Cox Goodger, and
that's the best game I've seen him play. He was really solid today.
He did really well. Got off the leash a little bit in the first quarter, Cox Goodger, but reeled him in and done a great job. Presnell, really impressive. Would have been down a fair bit after last week's game when he probably had the chance to win it for Launceston, but just inexperienced, took off when he was probably shouldn't have. And Leakey had 20 plus touches today as well, and in hindsight probably should have put him forward a bit earlier. He was a good target there in the last quarter. For North, Lee was sensational. Simpson in and under, doesn't waste an opportunity, played really well. Thought you mentioned it, Dave. Lockie Mitchell played really well, and is just coming of age with the games under his belt and getting the experience now. Van Dam was really good. Theo Ives haven't taken a lot of notice of him as in up close, but today we got a couple of good glimpses, and he's like Hercules. He's built like a very strong young man. So I think young Roney was really good. Mitch Nicholas was really good as well, and Ollington I thought certainly set him up in that first quarter and then played another 3 good consistent quarters after that. For the votes, going to give 1 to number 14, Heath Ollington from North Launceston, 2 to Colby McKercher, and A. Lee for 3 votes, just on the basis of just a complete workhorse all day, gave his on-ballers and the opportunity first use for 30, 40 opportunities, and we called it early in the game as well. Gives himself a chance to get it as well. He follows up and does a lot of work.
Well, the game was set up in that first quarter, 7 goals to 2, and a lot of those goals were through those centre clearances.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. Commiserations to some of our commentators today. And,
they still have to draft picks. They're okay.
Oh, look, he's up. He's packed up already. He's about to go home. Grooves. It's only a game, David. Don't take all these just because I got excited.
We had 3 Tigers here. We had Josh, Max, and also Rob here all in a row.
Yeah, great game. Great game.
Yeah. Okay, that's all from us here. Thanks to the Lonnie Footy Club for setting us up here this afternoon. Thanks to my co-commentators, Groobs on Stats, and the boys in the boundary, Tony and Chris. Thanks to Chris Ball in the studio for getting us to air this afternoon and doing a great job as he does each and every week. And that's all from us here at Windsor Park. Don't forget, our next broadcast is 2 weeks' time, Launceston versus Clarence here. And that should be a great contest as well. Final score today, North Launceston 2 good, 9-14-68, defeating Launceston 5-8-38. Bye for now.
This sports broadcast is brought to you by Elgas.